is just it's sort of disrespect, because what Netflix would do with a special like Monique, everybody and their mama gonna watch it because it's Monique. Because again, they want those black dollars, but they don't care about that. But they don't care about that black people. That so is so disrespectful on so many levels. For somebody who's been in the game for 30 years, and you to say here it goes $500,000, but you'll give Amy Schumer 20-something million dollars, $10 million, $5 million. Come on now, it's just disrespect. So when you put in the work, like okay, when you work for 20 to 30 years, when it's time for you to retire, or you look at your resume, when you gonna get paid, okay, we're gonna give you not even the bare minimum. You go to school, you get the education, they're paying you for the most experience you have. That's why when you get an entry level employee, you start off at the entry level. They don't pay you with a person. Monique is considered an expert in her field. To offer her $500,000, but you offering somebody else with less experience more, that's why her lawsuit was because she was able to confirm that it was some bullshit. So just because, again, the Oscar was in 2009, that's not all she did. That's not her entire body of work. And that's what you have to look at when you come with comedians. When you look at somebody like a Cat Williams, these people have been in the game for years. Now, I just started my production company. I went to comedy school. I wouldn't expect to get paid half of what they're doing. But for somebody to be in it for 30 years, and then after 30 years of working and slaving, and to say, you know what, 500, that's why a lot of these black actors and comedians died and didn't have any money. Because the people who was abusing them and using them in the system didn't value them. We as black people need to value our own and understand how this is. There's no way for Nia Long to be worth $6 million, because she's been in the game since the 90s. She's been in the game for some years.
Let me add one thing to that, line. The one thing I would say is that you also got to kind of take into consideration the market of everything. It's a reason that you hear a lot of black people say stuff about people crossing over because they feel like the crossover success brings in more money. So when we think about people like Nia Long, and when we think about people like even Monique, their audience is going to be a black audience. They're going to appeal to black people, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you can still make hella guap just appearing, just know what I'm saying, doing things for black people. But when you start talking about people like Chris Rock and 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 Dave Chappelle and people like Eddie Murphy and those people there are gonna appeal to the masses. They're gonna appeal to white people too. And let's be for real, white people are gonna be the ones that's gonna be breaking off that bread. So I get you. Like Nia Long is definitely a talented actress, but Nia Long also too. Most when we think about Nia Long, that's not to say that she didn't appear on some movies, that had some white castmates and stuff like that. But when we think about Nia Long, they're mostly gonna be on black type productions. They mostly Nia Long you're gonna remember Nia Long from Friday, and you're gonna remember her from The Best Man, and you're gonna remember her from stuff like that too. So when you think about Nia, yeah, Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Even though Fresh Prince of Bel Air was a crossover success because it was on NBC for about 6 years and stuff like that. So you're gonna, it's just a little bit different in terms of I get you. Like I say, I personally feel Monique should have got more than $500,000. I think she should at least be making $1 million or two at least. Know what I'm saying? But I can understand what Ray's saying too, because it's gonna be hard to put. I mean, it's really hard to put her up there against somebody like say Dave Chappelle, and Dave Chappelle is Dave Chappelle might be the biggest name in comedy at this point right now. So it's kind of hard to say that she's going to get the same amount of money that he's going to get. Think about somebody I think like Samora might be the funniest female comedian that's been for a long time.
Jersey, she's from Trenton, Jersey. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Samora not gonna make the kind of money that Monique is gonna make because Samora her fan base is strictly black. You know what I'm saying? Samora and what's the other one with the Lunel? I can't think of her name. Adele, funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? Funny as hell. And her and Samora might be the two funniest, but they not gonna get what damn Monique gonna get because Monique does have a bigger crossover appeal than even those two have. So I think it's just kind of relevant to know what I'm saying. But like I say, she was still undercut by Netflix. I think she still was undercut. She still didn't get what she should have got. So it's no doubt about that. Ray, I'm gonna let you go next, but let's let Black Pressure go, and then Ray and Aunt Lie, y'all go back again.
Peace to the Black family. Peace to the host. I just want to kind of weigh in on Monique. I'm gonna start off by saying Monique, like she is. I've been a fan of her, since the Parkers. But like the host said, when you demand money, like David Chappelle and like the host evoked Eddie Murphy, talking about Cat Williams, people like that. These people are phenoms. Monique is not a phenom. The amount of time that you have in your occupation doesn't equal an X amount of dollars. It's what you worked yourself up to. Monique is not a phenom as far as a comedian. I can't say she never will be, but up to this point, you can't demand phenom money when you're not a phenom. Like if you were to say David Chappelle is going on a tour. David Chappelle he's going to sell out Madison Square Garden. He's going to sell out the Staples Center. He's going to sell out NRG. If Monique announced a tour, like a 30-city tour, and you go to the biggest venues, Monique is not going to sell out these venues. So does Monique deserve more than $500,000? Yes. That is total respect. Excuse me. Total disrespect not to give her more than $500,000, but does she deserve 20 and 30 million like David Chappelle? Absolutely not. Her talent level is not at the on the same level with these guys. And like I say, does she deserve more than $500,000? I'm actually in her corner for her to get more money, but to ask for phenom money, I just can't see it. And I'll land my plane right there.
All right. Before I go, give it back to you, Aunt Lai, because we got Cash. We're gonna let Ray go, then we'll let you go, just so we can get the new people in here to go ahead and get a chance and give their say or whatever. But like I say, this is actually starting up a nice little conversation here, because like I say, I think we all in agreement to a certain thing. She still got shortchanged now. Whether we agree on the exact amount that she should have got, that's one thing, but she definitely got shortchanged. So, Cash, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yo, peace, y'all. I'm Black American on both sides for context of the conversation. What the aunt said when I came in, 100% facts. And beyond that, hopefully I don't repeat what they said. First and foremost, Black women is paid the least in the industry and in most industries. That's first and foremost. So saying she ain't the same as Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock, like, I don't know. Like, it's like we're like putting... It's hard to put a number on art, let me be very clear, or to put on a number on Black experience and how much Black people want to see certain things. And that's what's blowing Netflix up. We can't act like that ain't worth a whole lot of money. You know what I'm saying? She ain't just a comedian, you feel me? She's a Black comedian. They got a whole playlist on Black people now, so I want to make sure that's well understood. Now, Amy Schumer, I don't know if y'all mentioned her, she was offered $11 million and negotiated up to $13 million. All right, they let her renegotiate. And they only came to one of her shows, which was a standing ovation. She was in a film that cost $42 million and made $45, right? Now, Monique was in Almost Christmas, only cost $17 million to make and made $45, right? And plus all the other accolades that Auntie spoke to. Stuff I didn't even think about, all the animated stuff, damn. So I don't even think about her voice and stuff. Now, people call her hard to work with, because she's a Black woman who will say to white executives, you don't speak to makeup artists like that. That's hard to work with? That's the person putting respect on other people's name without even knowing who they are. And I hope she was speaking up for Freeman in that instance. I wasn't there for it, but I believe her. And I believe in her. Now, she went on Steve Harvey's show and told him to his face, it's about the principle. It's about Fannie Lou Hamer. It's about our ancestors. And he looked right at her and said, we Black out here. The best thing you could do for poor people is not be one of them. And then he got to own his own show, and they immediately gave him his show, and then the next year they canceled it. All right, now Lee Daniels, let me smack him on the hand, because he's degenerate in every film he makes about Black heterosexual relationships. Don't get me started on his whole laundry list. But matter of fact, let me mention one. He made a film where a white woman was a contract killer, killed a Black man, shot him in the back of the head, and took his son, raised him, and they ended up having a sexual relationship together. That's some masochistic shit, yo. All right? But Lee, and I ain't going to mention Precious, but she's not an actress, but she got put in prison. I'm sorry, shall I leave
Shadow Boxer was the name of that movie, guys.
Shadow Boxer.
Yeah, well, what's the brother's name? Yeah, Cuba Gooding Jr. There you go.
Tell the truth. So
that's and didn't he direct Empire too?
But a whole lot of, I mean, he's probably
right.
You know, he's problematic in general. And so And you know,
one more thing, Cash. One more thing. Don't forget, he owed Dame Dash that $2 million forever. So Dame had to put him on flight.
He owed a lot of people, bro. A lot of people. So Lee Daniels asked for a favor from Monique to get charged only the smallest amount you could charge a principal actor, which was $50,000, to be in that Precious film, playing a serious ass role. I need to watch the movie, man. It looks like some degenerate shit. I ain't gonna hold y'all. And I don't get the whole fat, pregnant, AIDS joke. Like, that's not a funny to me, and making a film around it. But Monique did a very serious thing, and she won an Oscar based off it. That's supposed to raise your price. Your price is supposed to go up just based off of that alone. Now, I know that there are black executives that work within William Morris and who work in Endeavors. And it was all their job to make sure that when actors get their deals, that they connect with the right people to make sure that they're part of the world tour that happens after. But they said disproportionately black actors get left behind. They get left behind when it's world tours, when they take them to China to talk about the Marvel film, or they take them to Asia to talk about it and have panel discussions at their Comic-Cons. They leave the black actors at home. But out of nowhere, they call Monique and ask her to fly herself to Cannes Film Festival with no pay for some movie she didn't even want to be a part of, and they paid her the smallest amount possible. She said, y'all need to pay me to come to Cannes Film Festival to present y'all's movie that I don't have no percentage ownership in. And she said after that, Oprah called her phone. Tyler Perry called her phone. Steve Harvey called her phone. So she made a joke about them. She said, I'm not blackballed. We need to stop saying that. Because blackballed is actually psychologically harmful to our community. Because blackball is black, black balls connected to a black dick. The truth is, she was whiteballed by some black dicks with no balls. Thank you very much, Mr. Tyler Perry. Thank you very much, Mrs. Oprah Winfrey. Thank you very much. That's the real joke. And I shot her out to the day, and I don't never want to watch Netflix again in my fucking life. Fuck them. And they over 100 million subscriptions, paying $10 a month. They can't pay her more than $1 million. And we in this room not even saying that she worth $1 million. That's crazy to me, bro. She worth 20 million and plus more for everything she's been in, and for everything that black folks will ever want to watch that she's in on Netflix or HBO or wherever we go to watch anything she does. Because I shout her out to the end of this day, especially her black family and her black husband, and her being healthy with her lifestyle now. Shout out to Monique, and thank y'all for the room.
Can I please follow my little brother? I just wanted to make everybody know that is my little brother. I fight little kids. That is my little brother. He said everything I said. He took the words right out of my mouth. And that is what I'm talking about. Sometimes it be the principalities of this shit. And the fact that they came at Monique on some bullshit $500,000, like she was, that's like the disrespect. And because she stands up as a black woman who filed a lawsuit in federal court by herself and no attorney against an entire branch of government, I get why you say you're not taking shit no more. When you take so much shit and you've taken shit your whole career and you done bust your ass and did all of this, and then they come to tell you your worth is only $500,000, bitch, I'll see you in court. I'm not mad at her. And what people have to understand, and I get why they say, oh, well, she ain't do nothing lately. What have you done for me lately? It's not about lately. When you apply for a job, they look at your resume. They don't say, well, what you do last week? No, boo-boo, do you have a degree? Where did you work? And that's what it's about. It's the principalities. And I'm glad she stood up for herself. And I agree with everything he said. No, and I agree with the person who before him said. No one said that Monique should get Dave Chappelle money. So that conversation should be taken off there, because she said that she don't think she should get Dave Chappelle money. She said she don't think she should get Chris Rock. She never said, she didn't say that. She said $500,000 is some bullshit.
Hey, sister, can I jump in? Sister, you are right. I just wanted to say I agree with you. If I don't want nobody to think I was running down my sister Monique. $500,000 is total disrespect. I just want to put that out there.
And I agree, because you said that. I agree with what you said. But I was saying, when it comes to Monique, I think a lot of people have to understand, when they were saying it was difficult as a black woman who, at my job, they say I'm difficult. They say I was difficult because when they tried to violate my rights, I let them know that this shit is not working like this. And when you stick up for yourself as a woman, especially a black woman, they say you have pride. Now, these Karens out here, we doing all kinds. They don't want you cooking out at the barbecue. They don't want you doing all this shit. These Karens ain't difficult, but a black woman who's saying, as a black woman, I deserve more than this, or no, I just had twin babies, and I cannot financially afford to go there for free, and then you calling in and begging her. Oprah got a private fucking jet. Why don't you, Oprah, you was the executive producer. You can pay her more. Use $1 billion industry. Tyler Perry, y'all could have her more to do this traveling because she said she just had twins and she wanted to see her twins. She wanted to be with her kids. She couldn't afford to do. You don't pay the slave wage, and she took it. Nothing is ever good enough as a black woman. You do. When you finally say, you know what, I'm not cooking dinner tonight. Y'all eating either McDonald's or peanut butter and jelly or some bread and goddamn water. It's, oh, mama's crazy. It's a problem. No, mama's sick and tired of this shit. Mama been cooking for y'all every day and she tired. She just had twins. And I feel like Monique gets a hard rap. And as a woman, it irks my nerves because, again, Dave Chappelle is who he is. Chris Rock is who he is. But for Netflix to devalue her the way they did, they let you know how they see black people. And they thought that she was going to take that shit. It's an assault. Sometimes some shit be an assault to your intelligence. And that's the shit that really get me pissed off. That's why I don't really mess with them like that. And I agree with everything he said. Like Netflix, like black people really need to understand when they don't serve you no purpose. Learn to leave the table, and that's the problem. Because they do little shit to appease us, we look at that as like, oh, this is for us. There's a difference between doing something to appease a people or shutting them the fuck up and doing something because you care about a people. And as a person who know the difference when my people get played, I take that shit personally. And you can play me or somebody look like me, and it's on like popcorn. Just on the principalities and shit. It's just some shit you don't do. And that right there, what you did, man, fuck Netflix. Fuck the NFL. And peace to Jada Pinkett. I land my plane.
All right, appreciate that, Aunt Live. For those who have not already in this space, please go ahead and tweet out the space. Tweet out the space to your people. Ray, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get to you in just 1 second. Let me let Patchy get ready to go, and also for those of you that can and able to, please go ahead and try to contribute to Newstoter on Cash App. That's $Newstoter. If you got $8 to you that you can spare, please go ahead and contribute to Newstoter. That's $Newstoter. Once again, that is $Newstoter. Patchy, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, be one to the family. And I'm in agreement with everybody that my whole thing is that isn't her husband her business partner? Isn't he the one that negotiates the contract of how much she gets? And my, because Corey Holcomb spoke on this like a couple of weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, on this whole issue, or between her and DL. That's neither here nor there. But as far as he did say something that really made sense to me. It's like, what about him? What is he not doing to get her the money that she's deserved? Because I'm in agreement with all y'all. She's definitely put in enough work. Brother said, once she won that Oscar, that raised her money. That should have raised her money instantly. So my whole thing is that what is her husband doing? It's not getting her that the money that she's owed.
Yeah, I believe. Now she's been married a couple times. I'm trying to think. Is this husband here actually a
Can I answer that?
Go ahead. Well, hold on. Unlock before you answer. Wait, hold on. Before you guys say anything, let me give a shout out to my man Quadri. I'm not sure if he's in the building tonight. Let me give a shout out to DJ and brother Moko for their contributions on Cash App, and also my brother Moko. He has a we're gonna be featuring his apparel in a little bit here. It's a black codified B1 type apparel. So big shout out to that brother. He supports this. He supports the damn Newstoter like a mother. I love this brother. This brother comes and him, Aunt Lai, DJ, Ray, Quadir. It's so many of you guys that really, really support this news, this content, the way we're able to dispense this information. Y'all support the spaces and whatnot. I love all of y'all. Y'all supporting and whatnot. I really appreciate the support. And like I said, brother Moko, we're gonna get with this brother too, and we're gonna also have some Newstoter gear pretty soon for you guys to snatch up and cop too. So I just want to let you guys know that before I go ahead and pass the mic back. But Lie, before you kick in, let me let Ray get, because Ray's been kind of quiet for a minute. Let's let Ray, and then you go after him.
No, I just wanted to say really quick, I wasn't attacking Monique. I love the sister too. And Outlaw, I want to thank you for your perspective on that. You really opened my mind to some ideas that I wasn't thinking. So I just wanted to say that and give you your flowers for that.
No doubt, no doubt. I mean, we know everybody. I think everybody just offering an analysis. Nobody's attacking her or anything like that. Like I say, Monique is a talented woman and whatnot. And like I say, I think everybody in here was in agreement that the $500,000 was a lowball offer. Netflix has money to burn. Netflix should. I mean, they didn't say, well, we're going to give you $3, $4, $5 million. You know, but they went ahead and they say $500,000, like she just was starting out or something like that, which was a total insult. So I don't blame the sister for getting upset. Now I feel Aunt Line, I feel Cash, and everybody else in there. Like we know that she's not at the level of say the ones we mentioned and whatnot. But like I say, the offer that they gave her was an offer of disrespect. And let's be for real, if she was a white woman and she had the credentials that she had, ain't no in hell they're gonna simply not giving her no anything under probably $10 million. So yeah, it was an insult. It was ridiculous, and you know what I'm saying. And we know how the media feels about strong black women. Whether we know Monique has a mouth on her too, so we know that much as well. But go ahead, Ray. I'm gonna let you go ahead and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let Cash and I'm gonna let I'll let you go. Then we're gonna let Aunt Lie go back, then Cash, and then you know what I'm saying. We'll see if y'all. I know y'all into this subject here. I want to get on the other one too, because even though we're gonna talk about other issues or not, you can always come back to the same issue. You know, I might read a report or whatever. Feel free to go back. If we talk, we might talk about the thing with LeBron James and the white kid getting killed outside his school, but you still can come back to this Monique thing. So once we move on, there's no thing saying that you can't go back. So just to let you guys know, we may read a report or read a story. We might talk about Deshaun Watson, the rappers getting killed, but if you want to come back to the Monique issue, that's fine. Like, this is set in stone here. And I also want to give a shout out to Ray for his contribution on Cash App as well. So go ahead, Ray.
No, just quick question. I want to throw this. I want to throw this out to see just to see what the family feels on this. Monique has burned a lot of bridges in Hollywood. Do you think that some of these people are coming back working against her? The Steve Harveys, the I forget all the other people, the Lee Daniels or whatever his name is. You think that might have a factor in it too?
Hey, let me chime in right there, Ray, real quick. I was trying to say the best play. Vanessa Williams, you know how that go. So the situation is going back to what our law is trying to reiterate to us. No, you know what I'm saying? When a black woman say, "I'm fucking tired," not to quote on Kelly, but when a woman's fed up, you never had a how you feel, you better get out of the way because this fucking storm is coming. Just like the ex-woman storm, you know what I'm saying? There's a reason why that is like that, bro. You know what I mean? We got to understand that it's laws in this country as well while we having these arguments of gender pay, equal pay, all this other stuff. But I do disagree with certain pay where it's like, they might say a woman is, equivalent to any man or whatever. Okay, well, come dump, deadlift this refrigerator. You feel what I'm saying? Put it on the back of the truck and take it up 3 flights of stairs. Now, you can't get paid $20 an hour for that, but you're getting paid $20 to go work the register. Well, all right, I may not be that technical dude because I'm always in the trenches grinding. I ain't got no argument with that because I ain't gonna never be at the register. You feel what I'm saying? But certain people shouldn't be in certain positions as well, and I've been there. But to say as far as Monique credentials goes, she's put in the work. So when you say, her, crapping on other people or talking crap to other people or burning bridges, that ain't nothing but a black woman just keeping it real. So a lot of these Hollywood boule elites, which we didn't get to the other day, yesterday's topic, the real boule, you know what I mean? That's Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey. They didn't get where they at by, being nice people or, helping out the black community. They got where they at by, being a boule's pet. A boule, by definition, means hand to the king, for the record. So if you really look up what the industry really pays a person per stream or what album sales and stuff was really worth, and this is why I always encourage people, go to my YouTube channel, watch my video, How to Make Money Off Your Talent. They shortchanging everybody, even the white artists. You could look up right now, hashtag right here on Twitter, hashtag penny per stream, all one word, penny per stream. We're not getting paid, bro. So to give you another example, the streaming industry is the new Cadillac Records. I make more money selling physical discs than I ever had. YouTube, and that's no respect to the subscribers and the followers that I have. I'm thankful of that because all that shit is organic. It ain't no bots. I ain't paid for nothing other than maybe some people to come click on the video, but I ain't paying for nobody to subscribe. I just want you to learn what it is I'm doing over here. So that way we can network together on some content stuff like me and Todd are doing to hopefully build up something later on in the future for black people. You feel me? So Monique should never have to negotiate what it is she's worth because she's a black and she's a woman. It is what it is. She should be able to come to us, her people, you feel what I'm saying? And say, hey, look, we got this for you, Monique, but how much you really want, boo? You feel what I'm saying? Oh, you want 20, baby? Okay, I got 20, baby, for you. You know what I'm saying? This movie about to be fire. Because we also forget Monique came up and was at her height of her success when a lot of this industry started changing and started going soft. This is why Dave Chappelle is getting attacked. You feel what I'm saying? She got a mouthpiece on her, so just keep it real about that. Fuck you, I don't give a fuck. Suck my dick, Oprah, all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because she's fucking mad, bro. She's getting lowballed. She's putting the work, time, hour, day, night. It don't even matter if she motherfucker thinks she's funny or not. I don't think Lil Wayne the best rapper of his generation. But I might be wrong compared to what these other youngers say, but he might very well be considering the amount of work he put in, bro. You feel what I'm saying? And he could demand $20 million a tour. You feel what I'm saying? Versus some promoter like me trying to come lowballing for 10, knowing damn well he know what the going rate is. You feel what I'm saying? So you gotta think about
we all know like that's Tupac. Let's throw that out.
Right. Yeah. Tupac up in Harlem, kicking them bootleggers tables. This is my shit. Give me everything. I'll call the cops on you. You saw the Igbo. He was like, Yo, yeah, this is my shit. You bootlegging? You know what I'm saying? Pac was about to whoop that ass that day. You know what I'm saying? Thug life. But hey, this is the argument. I'm about to get my plane. This is the argument where I say, hey, look, we have to learn how to make money off our talent because we are godlike creatures that are just full of talent, chock full of the shit. You know what I mean? We naturally do shit. We don't even be thinking about it and go about our day like that Avengers shit didn't just happen. Walk off all smooth like it's shit, like we fucking Shaft. You know what I'm saying? And it saved the day. You know what I'm saying? That's what fuck black people do, bro. I've done it. I've seen other Negroes do it. You know what I'm saying? Look at LeBron. There's a reason why that nigga's the next GOAT in line. You feel what I'm saying? The reason why Kobe was the GOAT. Yeah. It's all about how much you want to put in to unlock your natural talent, bro. It's there. So, all kudos to Monique. I don't care what nobody say about it. I understand, you got to understand the powers that be. They're going to side with the white man. That's what the boule is. They ain't nothing but puppets to hand to the king. That's what it is, a boule. Hand to the king. Look this shit up, man. Yeah.
Can I go
also, before I give it to you, Aunt La, let me just say thank you to Michelle on Cash App for your contribution. Thank you to the New Black Media. Go ahead, Aunt La, and then let's go ahead and let Cash go ahead and give his 2 cents, and then we're gonna just try to read. I just want to let y'all give y'all a little report about this thing with LeBron. So, like I said, we can still come back to this topic. I just want to put the news out there. So, I mean, like I said, even though we go to we read an article or whatever, and it's just these are just short articles just to keep everybody engaged. We still can come back to the Monique thing because I know that's like what a lot of people want to talk about anyway. So, go ahead, Aunt Live.
Okay, yeah, because LeBron my cousin. He don't know he my cousin. He might not be my cousin, but he my cousin. But anyway, to answer the question, why Monique's husband didn't negotiate for her, that's why she filed her lawsuit. Netflix came to her and said, we want you to do the special for $500,000. So they said, okay, well, can we talk about this? Netflix was like, never mind. And it wasn't in good faith. They just basically told her, we're going to pay you this slave money, and you just got to shut up and take it. That's why she filed her lawsuit, because Amy Schumer was offered 10 or 11, and then they negotiated up to 13 because she was a white woman. So you're gonna have a conversation with the white woman because you value this. I don't want to call her out her name. Lord, watch my mouth because I'm about to go crazy. So they negotiated with the Karen, but when it came to Monique, they just shut her down. And in employment law, you have to have good faith negotiations. And dealing with contracts, it's when you're in the entertainment industry, you negotiate. Netflix shut it down, wasn't even willing to negotiate, and she said, the legality of her lawsuit was the fact that she was a black woman, and they didn't want to negotiate with a black woman, and that's why she was able to prove. And when they filed their paperwork to dismiss, because when somebody accused you of something, You have to answer. Netflix answered and said, this is a lie. They don't have a case. And it should be dismissed because we basically did everything we were supposed to do. So then the judge looks at her complaint. The judge looks at I'm in a lawsuit, I know. So the judge looked at what Netflix did, and then he has the rule on the legality of the situation. Monique attorneys come up with case law based on the situation as far as, employment law and negotiations. Does she have a case? The judge in Monique's favor ruled based on the case law, the circumstances, of the totality of the circumstances, what happened procedurally, what Netflix said, look at the case law, the precedents, the old cases to see if they were in accordance, and the judge determined Monique could sue them. So the reason why her husband, Daddy, didn't negotiate was because Netflix shut it down, because as a black woman, they didn't give a fuck about what she said, and as a black man, they didn't give a fuck about what he said. So they were not even willing to negotiate, and that's how she was able to sue them, because you got to negotiate. Because, with actors all the time, it's always a negotiation. I got my comedy business. When I have my DJs and I put on my comedy shows, it's a negotiation. Okay, you can't do it. Okay, what can you do? What comedian I can get? This is your fee. Okay, it's always a negotiation. They shut her down. She a black woman. I don't have no time for you. And that's why she said, all right, but you won't have time for these attorneys. You won't have time for them. And she shut shit down. Now, as far as the situation with DL, I got a lot going on, so I didn't really hear a lot about it. I feel as though she's going through a lot of trauma of dealing with a lot of things, and she let shit out. I know she made a video. It was hours and change. I was trying to watch it, but I'm in the middle of 5 pending legal actions. I didn't get a chance. But I just feel personally, she got some ill will towards a lot of people who didn't have her back. When the situation hit the fan, a lot of people turned on her. And she just said when she could get her rocks off, she got, I don't want to say it's menopause because I don't want to be ageist, but I just felt like if me going through the same thing, and I'd just be cursing people out and, people be looking at me like, bitch, what's wrong with you? I have 5 pending legal actions. My life is on the line. And I feel like she's stressed. So what she did to DL, I feel like, when you're abused and when you're in an abusive situation, and what people have to understand what these employers do to black people, it's abuse. I'm writing a book on it. It's on pre-sale right now. They abuse black people. They do psychological damage, and they do gaslight. So when he signed her contract, they telling her one thing, telling him another thing. And when you deal with that a lot of times, that shit fucks with you. And I feel like, not saying, I'm not a doctor. I was a social worker for 7 years. And I feel as though she was at the point where anytime she feels like she's being violated, whether it's true or false, she reacts to it. So if she could maybe not been, it was a contract situation, but she felt as though, because again, she was abused by her brother when she was a kid. So when you're dealing with that trauma, my history with it, I don't want to, I'm not a therapist, but my history, when you're dealing with that type of trauma, when you finally get a voice, she stopped speaking to her parents because her parents fucked her Oprah for Oprah. So when you're dealing with that type of trauma and people used to fuck with you back in the day, I'm letting you know right now, that's why I filed my lawsuit against my employer. I grew up in an abusive childhood, and I told myself as an adult, I'm not taking abuse from a mother. I'm not taking abuse from nobody. My job decided to say, you know what, we gonna fuck with you. You ain't gonna fuck with me. I'm gonna see you in court. She was fed up, and that's why I feel like it was a trauma trigger for her. It wasn't necessarily that DL did something. It was a contract issue. The contract. It was the fact that it was a trauma trigger, and as a survivor of trauma, you just react, and her reaction may not have been the best reaction, but when you're surviving and you're going through shit, you may not act in the best way. I don't curse my husband out a couple of times. We divorced like every day, every day. I'm going through a lot of work. We divorcing every day. I'm sleeping on the couch. It's the trauma that she's going through. So I feel as though the situation with DL was a response to her trauma, and I feel like black people need to be more understanding of the trauma that black people go through. Because when black people go through, and I'm guilty of it. When I see a black person do some dumb shit, I be like, damn well you're a black person, you weren't supposed to do that dumb shit. They can get away with it, but you can't. And we're harder on our people. But the mental trauma she went through as a survivor of abuse, again, sexually being abused by her husband, everybody telling her, as a black woman, you fat, you're not good enough. Then her doing this skinny bitches is evil and dealing with a lot of trauma. She's trying to heal through that. She trying to, she do her workout videos. She losing weight. She healthy. Then somebody come with some fuck shit for her, and she just went off. And it may not have been the best, response. And as a person who's dealing with trauma, who's also helped people do trauma, who has also filed a lawsuit with discrimination at the same time, she just reacted. And at that point, it was anybody can get it. And it may not have been the best reaction. And she's going to deal with that and address it when she can. But I just feel like Black people need to give other Black people more grace with certain things, because I'm not saying that she was right in what she did. I'm saying in a position with the trauma I seen from what was going on, because then you get not live, then you get paranoid. Every time somebody try to fuck with you, you gotta feel like you gotta protect your neck and shit. Because again, she was abused by her brother. Her parents ain't do shit. Then Oprah and everybody else fucked her. Then everybody came on it. Like, it's a trauma response. So that was the question as far as the husband. They went Netflix said, "Fuck y'all Black. I don't want to hear nothing from y'all." That's how she was able to sue. I land my plane. Any more questions?
No doubt. Somebody said something. I heard another voice.
No, that was me. I was saying I like these questions.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm an expert on everything. I want to talk about Jada Pinkett too, Phil.
Okay, let's go ahead and let Cash go ahead. Cash, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Peace. Yeah, I just wanted to say Sydney's her manager, not her PR department. And it's his job to make sure she's paid a lot for sure, but not necessarily to speak to her accolades. That's what a resume does. But she might need a PR department because, again, a lot of the stuff that's part of her history, I don't really think of in common conversation. I'm glad that Aunt Lee was able to mention it. I want to say that the president of Netflix said that she was a legend. I don't know if y'all know Ted Danson or whatever. The president of Netflix called her a legend, and that she asked Wanda Sykes, like, if other Black women who were popular within comedy were being offered the same amount as her. And Wanda Sykes said she got offered the same thing, and that she just went to HBO and got $450,000. And if I heard that, I'd be like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking here. It says that Monique's net worth is $13 million.
Wanda was offered $250,000. Wanda wasn't even offered $500,000. She was offered $250,000.
You got it wrong. It's less than I thought. Now, Monique is no donkey of the day. That's very clear. And when I saw her go on that Charlemagne show and call him Leonard the whole time, that spoke to the trauma I think she was going through and really woke me up to look into this further. I hope y'all understand that the $500,000 she was offered is really $250,000 a year for a 2-year special that they would own, and that means she can't tell those jokes for 2 years, right? Not to step off topic for a second, but understand other stuff like what white folks in the stress that Black people who are in entertainment industry are going through. Y'all should know that Blade, Wesley Snipes made that whole character. Don't get me, started. And by Blade 3, they was trying to make it all about Deadpool and Jessica Alba. And he had an attitude, it's true. But he also, white folks was going on interviews. Oh, Wesley Snipes is such a crazy character. He wanted us to call him Blade everywhere he walked around on set. Hella white actors do that. They stay in character even outside of action. So acting like Wesley Snipes is something special. And for the third film, they filmed it in Canada, but made him pay his own separate taxes instead of paying the taxes amongst the entire cast. And because of that, his accountant was late on paying those taxes, and the judge acted like Wesley Snipes was the guy trying to evade taxes and threw the book at Wesley Snipes instead of the accountant. Put him in jail for 4 years. And our community was laughing at Wesley Snipes like he was trying to evade taxes, making fun of him and stuff. And I was like, what type of niggas is y'all, bro? Y'all don't understand who Wesley Snipes is to us and how he wants to be a real actor and keeps getting placed in these roles as New Jack City. Sit your $5 ass down. But anyways, let me get off a Blade. I want to mention Marcus Chong.
Hey, Cash, hold up. Before hold your thought on the Marcus Chong, and I know what you talk about. Hey, so look, go back what you said about Wesley Snipes and Blade and how his accountant deliberately, purposely didn't pay the taxes. So when we talking about the boule like we was in the last Newstoter show yesterday, did some particular people or entity or organization or government go to Wesley Snipes' accountant and say, hey, look, don't pay the taxes and you ain't gonna get in trouble. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? So we got to understand they got people all over. This is why they say they got police in every department. White supremacists is in every government organization. These people don't care about us. You know, this is why a lot of black folks I argue with every day. I just damn near went off on my uncle talk about we ain't getting reparations. Oh, we closer to this shit than we ever was, man. You just got to get on board with this shit. You feel what I'm saying? So this is the argument when I say, hey, look, you got to watch these people when you're in these different organizations. You know, our people should be hired by our people. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, the Tyler Perry thing looks good down in Atlanta, but it's our people getting those jobs. Lionsgate is coming here to Newark, New Jersey in the old Seth Boynton projects. It's our people getting those jobs. And when I say jobs, I'm talking about how many Negroes you know in the hood, in the straight in the ghetto that are audio engineers, movie producers, film editors, lighting technicians. You see what I'm saying? We ain't many. We're talking about a very minute percent. So
and the unions even further than that.
Yeah, the unions, that's a whole nother thing. And shout out to that brother over in Connecticut that unionized the first Amazon over in New York somewhere, whatever the case be. But I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. This is your talking points, bro. Go ahead. I just had to rebuttal on that one. I mean, reiterate on that. Go ahead.
I let an interjection, bro. And I'll say one more thing about Wesley Snipes. My mom, when I was a kid, told me that he had a spot out in Colorado. He was training black folks on black nationalism. And I thought he was crazy at the time. It don't sound crazy now. And he also got pulled over one time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Come on. And he had a BMW or some nice ass car, and the police thought that he had stolen the car, and they looked it up, and it was a production company that owned the car, not his personal person. And then they looked up the production company and found out that he owned the production company. And that's when they let him drive off with the vehicle. And it taught me that sometimes it makes more sense to own assets through a production company than through your person for tax code. So he did have the right people in his corner. I just want to shout out Wesley Snipes. I was going to mention Marcus Chong, Eddie Murphy, Run DMC, and I'm going to come right back to Monique. Marcus Chong is the actor from the Matrix film. He was also in the Black Panther, the real Black Panther movie, as Huey P. Newton, right? But as Marcus Chong was in Matrix, he's the guy who was born in the real world, close down to the earth where it's still warm. He's the one who said, hey, Mikey, I think he likes it. You know what I'm saying? Taught him how to do martial arts. He was the first one to realize that Neo was the one. He saved Neo's life when a white dude was about to pull the plug on Neo. He was done so.
Right, hold on. That's the heavy set brother that was good with the technology, right?
He was light skinned, yeah, curly hair.
Yeah, curly hair, right? Yeah, that's my man. He can act, yo. Come on now, give him credit.
Let this guy. Now he got paid $25,000 to be in the first Matrix film, while they gave Keanu Reeves and them millions of dollars. All right, but you know it's the first film or whatever. He was on the poster. All right, but it is what it is. He saved Neo's life. It is what it is. Okay, they replaced him because of this. And he made a whole documentary about this that he posted on YouTube. His name's Marcus Chong. I should look him up. He said that they offered him only $250,000 for the second film, even though the person he had killed on camera made millions, right? And that the $250,000 meant that he had to pay for his own travel and housing and food. Now, in the first Matrix film, it was shot in like Australia or something. He said that he had to walk on set sometimes because they didn't have no set driver for him, and sometimes the security would stop him if he didn't have his badge. On some, what nigga is you walking on the set? And he's a principal actor. They said that sometimes actors was making fun of him because he was taking snacks from the break room. He's an actor. Those snacks is for him. Okay, so they're going through these micro traumas is what I'm trying to say. And Monique's probably not the only one is what I mean to say about this as well. And he ended up with him getting arrested because the Wachowski brothers at the time, now sisters, was calling his house saying, what's wrong with $250,000? And he was arguing, I'm worth millions of dollars. And the film would make hundreds of millions. Right? There's sequels upon sequels, and their security guard started calling his house, and he was like, "Yo, if you come to my house, I'll blow your fucking brains out." And they said that he was threatening people and stuff. And y'all know that a black woman is considered the owner of the Matrix. That's a whole other conversation. But anyways, Eddie Murphy in the 90s when the film.
Hold on, you got to speak on that Matrix thing.
Wait, hold on, Cash. Hold on. Cash, not to cut you off, brother, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm trying to go ahead and get this other story out. So can you kind of like get ready to land it in a maybe about 30-40 seconds?
Yeah, this is all ties into like a bunch of stuff, unfortunately, though, Tyler. But go ahead, Cash.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip on Steve Harvey. You saved him, Newstoter. I'm gonna skip on Viola Davis, but shout out to black women and the fact that they're getting paid less in their industry in general. I mentioned Monique's net worth being $13 million. I just want to make sure that was well heard. And I want to mention Lupita Nyong'o having to get a ride to the premiere of the Black Panther series. It just shows that these black women and black actors in general are not getting paid for what their true talent is, and we need to stand behind them when they ask to boycott stuff like Netflix or what so have you. And Black B1, thank you for the space and time.
Oh, like I said, we can come back to it. I just want to go ahead and get the other story out, and then, like I say, we don't have to. Even though I'm gonna go ahead and read it. You can always go back to the Monique story. Like I say, we're just trying to get the information out, and you guys, just so you guys can hear more information, you want to come back to the Monique story, that's fine. I don't have a problem.
I got
just
notes.
want to try to get out as much as possible. So let me go ahead and read the next story. This is about LeBron James' I Promise School and the death that happened outside of it. And of course, the media is already starting to circle like buzzers about it and whatnot. So let me go ahead and this is a short story. I'm just going to go ahead and a short article. It was published by Black Sports Online, curated on Newstoter.com. 3 men arrested for beating Ethan Lyman to death outside of LeBron's I Promise School over water gun. 3 men named Deshaun Stratford, Tyler Stratford, and Donovan Jones have been arrested on an Akron Police Department warrant for the death of high school football player Ethan Lyman on the basketball courts near LeBron James founded high school in Ohio on June 2nd, 2022. The Daily Mail has details. The U.S. Marshal Service arrested 3 men accused of fatally beating a 17-year-old boy outside the high school founded by LeBron James during a fight provoked by a toy gun. Lyman and a group of friends were joyriding in a car and apparently provoked the fight with 3 men by shooting at them with a plastic water bead blaster. Deshaun and Tyler Stratford, who lived together in the 500 block of North Howard Street in Akron, Ohio, were arrested by the marshals and police. Jones was captured separately in the 200 block of Crosby Street, also in Akron. I'm happy to report today that officers with the Akron Police Department made several arrests in connection with the death of Ethan Lyman. Akron Police Chief Stephen Milet said, "We thank the members of this community for their outpouring of support that helped investigators throughout this investigation. We will continue to follow any leads that will result in bringing those responsible for Ethan's death to justice. While I believe the news of the arrest will be welcomed by Ethan's family and loved ones, we all recognize that nothing will bring Ethan back. Violence in this country must stop. We're losing too many lives to senseless acts of violence." The fight between the men and Lyman began when the boys were riding around in a car on Saturday night with a toy gun. One of the boys reportedly shot at the basketball court where the 3 men were playing a game with others. The shooting caused someone in the court to run away, and according to the chief, the boys chased after them temporarily. The boys went back to their car, at which they were confronted by 3 men. A fight ensues, and subsequently Ethan Lyman is dead, the chief said at a press conference. A $1 million bond has been set for the suspects, Deshaun Stratford, Tyler Stratford, and Donovan Jones. So we see what then went on here. Now, LeBron's school is getting all kind of flack, all kind of heat from this. It's going to be interesting to see how this is spin, and considering that now normally if it was black kids or if they did something like this to some white men, they would be considered the instigators and the troublemakers, and they started the whole incident and this and that, and we didn't know if the gun was real and this and that and all this and that. So they already, they're already starting to circle. Now this was outside LeBron's school. Yet people act like it happened right in the gym in his school. So it's just going to be interesting to see how the media goes ahead and spin this and try to put the blame on LeBron, because LeBron has become more political than he ever was. Early in his career, he pretty much just stuck to basketball. Now he will say some stuff about some of the things and social injustices going on and whatnot. So the fact that this happened outside of his school, because like I say from the reports, I thought it happened actually in the damn school, how he was talking about it and whatnot. But like I say, you had these kids riding around. They had nothing else to do. They had a little toy gun because, black people get killed all the time for having toy guns. You can shoot a 12-year-old black kid. You talk, well, I thought he had a real pistol on him and this and that. So this is going to be interesting to see how this play out. And these guys, I didn't say their age, but they got $1 million bond. So they're not going to get out anytime soon. They're going to stay in there until it's time to go to court. And I see Aunt Lai, you got your hand raised. Ray, you next. Go ahead, Aunt Lai, and unmute your mic.
How you doing? I just feel like, to me, it seems like it was a self-defense, and it was I'm gonna speculate. I think it was like a racial bomb. It's Ohio. Let's be real. And a white boy with a water gun, fake gun, pointing at some black kids on a basketball court. And the way white people be harassing and targeting black people, they could have been feeling like that they life is on the line. So I don't necessarily. I feel like it's a self defense. I hope they get good attorneys because the way white people, white nationalists, has been targeting, especially with the shooting, and you know what I mean, the church, and then you got both, but Buffalo, the way they be coming at us, they could have been saying some stuff, and they probably was just defending themselves. And as black people in this country, we know we are targets. They coming at us. It doesn't seem like it was it's self defense. It seemed like to me. Like, you know, I wasn't there. I don't know all or whatever, but it could have been some racial stuff because why would you even want to shoot a gun at some strangers you don't know? That's not right on so many levels. But the fact that you know, in this Ohio, you know, legally speaking, I think it was like I would claim self defense if I was in the situation. And you know, with the way things are going in this country, it doesn't appear that it was like they started. It was literally self defense.
And well, the article clearly states, Ray, I'm going to get ready to toss it to you, but the article clearly states too that they provoked it.
Exactly. Like I say, that's why I say self defense.
Yeah, so you know, can't be black and provoke something, and then somehow somebody dies as a result of that. And I mean, no, that's just it just this is like I say, and then they're trying to muddy up this man's name, LeBron's name, and it's been in the articles has been out for a while and whatnot. I published, I think I did not actually put it on Twitter yet because I kind of was like, well, let me just kind of wait and see how this thing was going to go right here because I've had it on Newstoter for a while, but I just didn't want to go ahead and tweet it out yet or whatever. You know, I know people heard of it, so yeah. Ray, go ahead and unmute your mic.
No, I was basically everything I just said. I definitely co-sign that. If it's 10:40 at night and you jump out with something that looks like a gun and you end up getting beat to death, that is on you. You don't play. You play stupid games, you're gonna win stupid prizes. And plus, those same guns. Let me see. A 10-year-old dies after being shot in the head by one of those pellet guns. And the gun I'm using air quotes. It was illegally modified. So a 10-year-old dies. Let me see. 4 arrested in Phoenix after a pellet gun kills a woman, seriously injures a teenager. An 8-year-old boy is killed in Moses Lake, Washington. I can just keep naming stories. These guns are actually getting people hurt, killed, etc. And they're just trying to make it seem like, oh, it's just a toy. And like, no, it ain't just a toy. You don't do nothing that stupid. Tamir Rice did not get the benefit of the doubt, even though he had a toy. But people don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, you ain't lying too. Like I say, he's 17 years old, and I mean, and what was the point? Like Aunt Lassie, what was the point of pulling the gun out? I mean,
exactly.
You looking for trouble?
Exactly. We have mass shootings so much in this country, and you're gonna pull out a fake gun and act like you're trying to shoot people? It sucks that he got killed, but hey, he kind of got what he deserved. I hate to say it, but you don't do nothing like that. Not in these days and age. In this day and age.
Let's see what they say by his parents and stuff. Because I'm normally, you know, I'm surprised nobody said, where was his parents? Why was he out this time of night? Why did his parents know where he was at? Why did they know this? Why did they know that? Because, you know, whenever that happens with one of us, it's always the parents' fault. It's always the parents didn't do a good job. The parents should have done better. The parents this and that. And they were neglected by the parents and all this other stuff. So, like I say, I want to see exactly how this is going to turn out. Because, like you say, who in the hell somebody's playing basketball, and the fact that you're going to sit up there and you're going to pull out a gun, nobody knows if it's real or not. People, like they say, people running up off the court and whatnot. And here you go, you had nothing else better to do other than try to start some crap. And then like I say, I feel bad for his family too. Like, I don't want to see death on anybody, but I mean, man, you can't just come and do no crap like this. Like, with everybody tensions, how high tensions are, and everybody, just this just ain't a good thing here. He lucky that they ain't bust back. I mean, let's be for real. Like, I mean, when somebody sees a gun, he did that at the right people and stuff. Because we all know plenty of people, man. You start pulling something out. I mean, I guess he thought they was at the basketball court too. They gonna be unarmed and this and that. But I mean, you pull up to the wrong court doing something like that, and people gonna be running, but they gonna sure be firing shots back at you. So that was just that. I mean, I hate to say it, man, but I mean, stupidity got this boy killed right here. That's what it was, and like I said, the fact that you got $1 million bonds, they're sure that they're not going anywhere.
White privilege got him.
I was going to say,
DJ,
if you could you put the guns? I sent you the picture of the guns and what they look like. These guns look like actual modern sporting rifles. Like they look like handguns. So if it's 10 o'clock at night and if I'm on a basketball court, I can't see you pull out something like a gun. I mean, hey, he just got dealt with. I hate to say it, but
I mean that's what it is. DJ, you there? I see you got your hand up.
Yeah, I'm here for this one for sure. So to make a long story short, when this was first reported, I already knew from the description of the altercation that took place that it was all these kids, that white kids, a car full of them. It wasn't just this one kid that got beat to death. You know what I'm saying? So it was him and two or three of his other friends rolled up to the basketball court. I don't know if the other, these black men were playing ball or just hanging out. How it was. We used to hang out at the court back in the day. So these jokers hop out with a water gun that sprays pellets. Now, if anybody from our paintballers in the comment, if you ever got hit with a paintball, that shit hurt. Also, we in this, a heightened state of emergency with these gun mass murders, mass killings, mass shootings, everybody getting shot locally, across the nation, across the world. People are on heightened alert right now. So you pull up to some court, 9, 10 at night, like you said, predominantly in somewhat of a black neighborhood, I guess, right? That's Akron, right? That's where LeBron from. Whoop out the jammy and get the bucking on some jokers. And then when they realize because they getting hit, and this is the other, what I'm talking about from the psychological, I'm thinking I'm dead, bro. Nigga just shot me, man. For what? What the fuck I do? Oh, shit, I ain't bleeding? Oh, man, you hit me with a water gun? Man, fuck all that, man. Come here. Boop, 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 boop. You just got beat down too hard, man. You couldn't take these blows. You know what I'm saying? This is why white people got pistols and they got a Second Amendment law and made all this shit because they know if they ever fought us one-on-one, you're going to feel these hands like Javante did Romero. So how he jabbed his ass, put that boy life. You know what I'm saying? We ain't playing with none of this shit out here. Keep it real. And I'm still watching that punch, that power jab. My eyes too slow to catch it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm still looking at the tape. You know what I'm saying? Damn, how you hit him like that, yo. You know what I mean? I would never want to see you, Tank. You the man. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Same thing you see Tyson. You see how he be training nowadays? Man, the trainers be scared of him, yo. I can't even train him. You might hit me for real by accident, though. You know what I mean? So, hey, like I said, hey, man, rest in peace. I feel sorry for the family. Hey, like you said, Ray wins stupid games. You get these dumbass prizes. And just for to close it out, I'm a knucklehead growing up, straight up. I did a lot of dumb stuff, but I didn't do knucklehead stuff in the gun era. You see what I'm saying? I grew up when you had to fight for everything, yo. You feel what I'm saying? Out here in Jersey, you had to be prepared to come out and fight. So again, to hear what Allah say about the trauma, my fist be balled up for no reason sometimes. Because I might have to steal off for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Gotta watch your back, 12, 3, 6, and you're not. Look at you there.
Yeah, I grew up in the era too, man, and we from the '90s and whatnot. I grew up in the era. Let you pull a gun out on somebody, and they find out that damn gun, wasn't a real gun, and they can get a hold of you. Oh, you done for. like, you done for. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about that. So, like I said, this dude ain't had nothing else better to do. Him and his friends, they decided to go and probably in the neighborhood. Now, let's be for real. I'm sure they was in a black neighborhood. They went ahead and they said, we finna have us some fun over here. And that fun, unfortunately, turned out to be tragic. You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
Hey, one more thing, too. I'm sorry to add on, condolences and all that. It ain't funny, but his homies, some pussies, yo. They ran on him and left him there to die. So why ain't your white friends that you rolled up here to fake shoot somebody with some water guns getting charged as well for abandoning your best friend when y'all was on y'all way to do dirt? So now you all of a sudden, you robbing a bank, but the officer in the bank popped your ass, but the officer going to jail. See what I'm saying? That's how it is, man.
You brought up a good point there too, because I wanted to know if his friends are going to be charged for anything. Considering that, I'm sure that like Ray was saying that they had these guns and whatnot. I wonder if they're going to be charged for anything, since their actions helped lead to his death. Had they not done that, had they not went up there riding around shooting and this and that, and let's not act like I'm sure he wasn't the only one shooting either. Had they not done that, he would still be alive to this day. So I want to know if they're gonna actually catch any kind of charges with. Now, I know you know the law. So go ahead and unmute your mic and let us know.
Okay, this is the thing with this case. Number one, the fact that media attention is on this case is a good thing, because the media attention may just save these black young men's lives. Because the powers that be, again, my book is on how they cover shit up, how they lie, and how they commit RICO charges. So they are going to charge them with the most penalties, the most whatever. But when it comes to a criminal case, there's two things you have to look at. Number one, you have to look at actus reus and mens rea. Actus reus is a criminal act, mens rea is a criminal mind. At the time, were they trying to commit a crime, or were they fighting for their life because of the trauma? Number two, you have to look at the aggravating and mitigating circumstances. Who was the aggressor? What the circumstances around the totality of the circumstances around the entire incident? Because of the media attention, that may save these young men's lives. Hopefully, they get an attorney that will say these things in court, because a lot of times you will get a public defender and you might as well just hang it up, because they work for the court system and they're not going to fight for you. They're not going to aid in their defense. They're not going to look at wait a minute, these people were starting to fight. They were trying to defend themselves, and then just say, you know what, Josh should take a plea deal. Hopefully, by getting the media attention, the truth of the fact of the matter will come out. Were these people, when the guys were shooting the guns, were they saying any racially motivated statements? Because for you to just it's some bullshit for you to just come up to somebody in 2022 after everything we don't survive, including Trump, a pandemic, and black people being, killed left and right, for you to shoot at a black person, that's a hate crime. They should really be charged, and honestly, the charges against them should be dropped, or if anything, placed on probation. But you can't tell a person how to defend themselves. And one thing we have to realize about trauma is you can't get mad at me or how I respond and say, well, you shouldn't have beat them up that bad. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know the shit that I've been through. You know what I mean? I hear a car backfiring, and I'm thinking it's gunshot. I grew up in Set 40. So you don't know what type of trauma these women been through. And hopefully somebody will look at the aggravating and mitigating circumstances and say, especially after black people are seeing what happened in Buffalo, they were literally fighting for their lives. And the media attention may help save them. And hopefully they get an attorney that will fight and look at the totality of the circumstances, because a lot of times when you're dealing with the law, you have people that's not willing to do that. You have people willing to just shut shit up or shut shit down because they don't want to get it. When the prosecutors, when they come up with the why this person, the motivation for the crime, they don't fucking know. They make that shit up. They say, okay, we think the motivation was this. We think the motivation was that. It ain't about what the fuck you think, it's what you can prove. And based off of what I just heard with my little bit of experience, I can tell you right now that this is an easy self-defense case. But is somebody going to, that's why I'm going to law school too, is somebody going to argue and defend and help these young men out? Because even it happened in the 7 case, 2007, even though they were trying to throw them boys in jail for murder because of a fight, even though it wasn't a murder case, but it was 7 boys who got into the fight, and they were trying to throw them under the jail. And Michael Baisden went out there, and the whole country rallied around them, and they didn't get thrown under the jail. That's what needs to happen in this case, because if not, shit, luckily it happened where it happened so they could get the media attention, because it happens every day. So, some legal factors that when you're dealing with these cases, people have to take into consideration that a lot of times they don't.
No doubt. I want everybody looking at Jumbotron. My man, Brother Moko, he put we got his Be First codified gear up here, and y'all might want to click on that and take a look because it looks nice. It's codified Be First gear, and if you guys click inside the Jumbotron, you can see it, and it's pretty nice, and it's just some of the stuff that he offers. So, like I say, we're gonna be teaming up with this brother here shortly, and we're gonna be getting everything on code and whatnot. Ray, go ahead and unmute your mic.
I was gonna say, because like you said, Ohio, that's definitely a stand your ground state. And let's just be honest, if the shoe was on the other foot, they wouldn't be looking at the boy that got killed as a victim.
DJ, you got your hand up?
Right. Because you see the case and but the boy went he went tubing with the white girl and his family missing and they don't know what the fuck happened. The police ain't even look for him. Some white boy went with some black boy went with some white girl in Idaho, on a trip, and then his ass come up missing. Now we gotta find him because he dating with the swerve. And it's like shit, they don't care if it's a black person going missing. I don't understand why black people don't understand the message. If you want to put your life on the line and date vanilla, don't come looking at us like, okay, we need y'all to help. You don't need my motherfucking help. Because he wasn't even over here. Now you go to vanillas and ask them for help because they don't care about us. They don't care about us at all. So what makes you think they're going to care about us fighting because one of them did something to you? And when people put themselves in this situation, they got to understand that there's nothing we can do but say, damn, it's messed up. So with this situation, it's important that people support these young men because yes, a life was lost, but look at the circumstances around that life being lost. It wasn't like they was out there rolling up on white people in neighborhoods and shooting white people, and then no, they was out there minding their damn business and feeling like their life was, was threatened, and they reacted. However, that reaction, we don't know what type of trauma how that reaction is. They react. So I feel bad for them.
I feel bad for him too. Like I say, I hate to see a young person lose their life over some BS and whatnot. But I also would hate to see these boys' life be taken for them off of something that could be looked at self-defense. If they were white and there was a black dude and he did that and he pulled out this weapon on them and this and that and shot at them and instigated this whole thing, was in the car. They be talking about it was a drive-by and this and that, and they was in fear of their life and they had to do this and they had to do that and things happened so fast and they're sorry that his life was lost, but yada yada yada. So I feel for the kid, I feel for his parents, but these guys should not be jailed for the rest of their life behind something that was stand your ground. Like I say, that's all we heard. Stand your ground, stand your ground, stand your ground, self-defense, self-defense. Now whenever that shoe gets on the other foot, it's always a problem. It's always this and that. So look, I mean, at the very least, the boy deserved to get his ass whooped. I mean, I'm not saying he should have got killed, but at the very least, he had an ass whooping coming. Him and his homeboys, like Racy, and they all ran like a bunch of punks and left him out there. They supposed to go up there. You done started all this. Now y'all supposed to squabble or whatever. Best thing is this: if you don't want some drama like that to happen, don't do something stupid like that. Hate that the kid lost his life. But I hate to see three other young men lose their life behind simply what I feel like, could be looked at as self-defense. They should not, and then you're going to throw a damn $1 million bond up here and whatnot. So, no, if Kyle Rittenhouse can get up in court and start fake crying and this and that, and everybody in the world knows that he's faking it, and people talk about, and you got the people in the right wing media talking about, oh, he's just a kid, and how dare you sit up there and criticize him? He was so broken and this and that, and everybody else in the world knows it was BS. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry that the young kid lost his life and whatnot, but man, that was a very stupid thing that he did. It was very dangerous too. He put a lot of people's lives at risk, and unfortunately, he lost his for a ill-fated decision that he made that night. Like I say, I wish that this could have turned out different. I'm sure his friends that was with him wish it could have turned out different as well, but because and the people that was in the car with him all made a stupid ass decision. Not just him, but the people that was with him, whoever was driving, should say, "Hey man, let's not do this. This don't make any sense." Because I'm pretty sure that they was over there in the hood doing this. So this was just a stupid ass decision that he made. It was unfortunate, and like I say, I hate to see that the young dude lost his life behind some BS. But that's what it was, and like I say, when you black and something like this happens, all you get is I'm sorry this happened to you and deal with it. That's what you told. That's what we told every time something like this happens in our community. We sorry. It was unfortunate. It wasn't meant to be this way. But hey, that's life. Deal with it and move on. And that's what they should be doing here. Now they want to go ahead and they're going to paint this boy. He's going to be a goddamn saint by the time they through painting him. If it's anything, any record that he got, they're going to polish it over. If it's anything he put on social media, any content that was negative towards black people, anything, they're going to remove it. There's not going to be a trace of anything ever that this kid ever did. He didn't even blow his nose. So we pretty much know how this thing is setting up right here. And for those of you guys that can, remember to go ahead and follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to the YouTube channel that's also in the Jumbotron. Subscribe to the newsletter as well. The newsletter is in the Jumbotron. We also have the Facebook group that's also in the Jumbotron. Go ahead, follow the link, go to Facebook, Black Culture Newsroom, and follow that. And also for those who can, go ahead on Cash App. If you have $1 that you can contribute to the new Black Media, $ Newstoter. That's $ Newstoter. That's $1. If you got $1 that you can contribute to the new Black Media, $ Newstoter. Ray, go ahead and unmute your mic.
I was just going to ask, does anyone know what they're actually being charged with? Is it third-degree murder? Is it manslaughter? Does anyone know? And I was going to ask, did anyone actually see? They actually did, in Ohio, they put out a segment on the news, and they were saying, oh, this is so unfortunate that we've captured these animals. So they're already painting the picture that these guys are innocent before they even go to trial.
Right. So to reiterate what everybody's saying, the one thing I think we really should be focusing on is being that it happened on public property as far as like school premises, and being that we know that I Promise School is like a state of the art type school. So I'm hoping in my mind that school, or LeBron's school, he was smart enough, and I'm pretty sure he did. Put all the bells and whistles. It was his bread to have closed circuit television, 24 hours, 24/7 rolling. Because if it did, they would see that car rolling up when the boys was already there doing, hanging out playing ball. Even if they was fucking at the court, smoking weed, drinking and shit. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? You rolled up on me and started bucking me. You feel what I'm saying? End of story, yo. I handled it how I handled it. It was what it was, yo. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You're not supposed to have any weapons at any type of school grounds anyway.
Right. And just one more thing, just to reiterate what you said, Tyler. Was it even this kid that got killed? You know what I mean? Or, I can't even say the nigga got killed. He just did some stupid ass shit and lost his life. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like it was by accident or somebody purposely killed him. You know what I'm saying? So was it even his idea to even go do that? So whoever idea was to go roll around, spray jokers up with water bead guns, propeller guns, paintball guns in a heightened state of an emergency where we just had multiple mass shooters in a matter of weeks. You know what I'm saying? That's on you, dog. And I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I say, that's, like I say, the friends should be getting charged with that. Aunt Lassa, you had your hand up, so I'm going to let you go ahead, and then we're going to go, and I'm just going to report the little Deshaun Watson thing that's going on. Do you want to add something further before I get to the Deshaun Watson case going on?
What I was just going to say, in regards to Black people and their rights extends as long as they have the money to defend themselves or represent themselves in court. And I just wanted to say that, like, their rights is how much money they had to pay the attorney to fight for their rights. Because the circumstance of the situation is easy, but are they going to get somebody in there to fight for X, Y, and Z? And hopefully they do get.
Well, that's the whole purpose of the closed circuit television. You see what I'm saying?
But that's what because this is what happens with video.
But I understand what you're saying. But this is why I'm inserting the fact that if it's caught on closed circuit TV, then they pretty much damn near won majority of that case. But I understand they look for these loopholes. You feel what I'm saying? I'm with you on. I got a little jail law in me too. You feel what I'm saying? They look for these loopholes to try to ostracize us, fire us, keep us incarcerated. So let's go back to when Kamala Harris was senator of California. When people was able to bail out, she was not releasing these people, black, white, yellow, Spanish, whatever. She was keeping them incarcerated to fight in California wildfires. You see what I'm saying? So I've been through those type of situations where I might have been accused of something. Well, hold on, I ain't had nothing to do with it. I just been in the same vicinity or whatever. But guess what? I'm paying a lawyer to go to court just to say that, yo. You see what I'm saying? So I understand what you're saying. Yeah, these men, these gentlemen, these black boys, they're going to need some good-ass lawyers, and we're going to have to shell out the money for that. This is why I go back again and always saying black people need to start supporting black people. We shouldn't even be thinking about no fucking Ben Crump. You feel what I'm saying? To go represent these boys. That's what everybody asking. I see all over social media. What Ben Crump and the other black attorney that's always running around when white cop kill a black man. You see what I'm saying?
Ben Crump ain't gonna defend him. Ben Crump is only good for coming in and getting the damn settlements and stuff like that.
Right, but that's what I'm saying though. Where we know this is gonna cost some bread. You see what I'm saying? So where they most likely in a poor neighborhood of Akron already. You feel what I'm saying? And hopefully LeBron step in. You know what I'm saying? And say, hey, and even though he ain't gonna have nothing to do with it because they already been charged.
Nah, LeBron ain't stepping in.
But I'm talking about the fund their lawyer. He don't have
LeBron ain't finna step in on this here because this just happened outside of his school and this and that.
Nah, it happened on the property, bro. It happened on the property. So hopefully he's stepping in, pay for these boys' lawyers. Especially if the rules were, and this is why I do certain things as far as kind of like research and stuff. Especially if the rules were that you are allowed to come to the playground and do whatever you want to do because it's open space, open to the public. It's not like it's closed to the public at a certain time if them boys is out there because otherwise the police would have been there to told them to leave. The park is closed.
They say this happened at basketball courts near his school. That's what the article said.
See, the first couple articles were saying that it happened on the actual grounds of the school. That's what most of the news is saying. So this is going back to what we was telling y'all in the chat and why me and Todd are doing what we're doing, trying to curate this black news, so we can have boots on the ground out there in Akron, Ohio, to go find out what the hell happened, report the truth back, go to the families, go to any key witnesses. We need to have the boots on the ground before CNN claiming news network. But damn, who knows what the truth is now? That's why I'm hoping is some closed circuit TV out there. Somebody saw something. Maybe the neighbor's ring doorbell caught what really happened. We just got to pray for them. That's it right now. And obviously come up with some type of solution to fund their trap. We about to take it to trap. We're going to have to prove your innocence.
Yeah, let me go ahead and thank Kimberly for her donation on Cash App as well. Appreciate it, Kimberly. I'm going to go ahead and this is a quick story that I want to go ahead and share with you guys. Real quick story I want to go ahead and share with you guys, and this is about Deshaun Watson, the case that's going on, man, and this is crazy, man. But right here, this story here, this was by the New York Post that they published. Didn't curate this. This is from the New York Post, so this was not curated on the Newstoter platform, but it's from the New York Post, and this is just going to show you here the way that they handle both sides of an argument here, how you can see the unfair treatment and whatnot. So let me go ahead and just share this with you guys real quick. And it's titled "The NFLPA Planning an Aggressive Defense for Unprecedented Deshaun Watson Punishment." For those of you guys who don't know, for some of the ladies that's in the chat, Deshaun Watson is a quarterback in the NFL. He used to play for the Houston Texans. He signed a massive contract, a 5-year, $200 some odd $million contract. He was out all last year because of this thing about these massage suits and whatnot. I'm just going to go ahead and catch you guys up to date and just let you know, as the NFL continues to prolong its investigation into the sexual misconduct allegations against Deshaun Watson, the NFL Player Association is reportedly preparing an aggressive defense strategy in support of Browns quarterback. In the chance that Watson faces an unprecedented punishment by the league, the union will take specific aim at the NFL's handling of the Commanders owner, Daniel Snyder, Patriots owner, Robert Kraft, and the Cowboys owner, Jerry Jones, concerning their separate off-field controversies, according to Pro Football Talk. The union's argument will reportedly be that the punishment of Watson is not proportional to the punishment of those owners, with the emphasis on the NFL personal conduct policy, which states, ownership, club, league management have traditionally been held to higher standard and will be subject to more significant discipline when violations of the personal conduct policy occur. According to PFT, the union will argue that Snyder, Kraft, and Jones received little to no punishment in the aftermath of their separate situations. Snyder found himself in hot water this year after accusations of a toxic workplace, including sexual harassment allegations within the Commanders organization. A separate report stated that Washington was hiding money from the rest of the league by using two different accounting systems. In 2019, Kraft was seen on camera engaging in sex acts in South Florida massage parlor, not long before the Patriots team won its 6th Super Bowl. Although Kraft was charged with solicitation, a judge ruled in January footage of Kraft and other customers must be erased because they were filmed doing unlawful surveillance, according to South Florida Sun Sentinel. As for Jones, the union will argue that the league failed to investigate a scandal involving Cowboys PR chief Richard Dumple, including questions of what Jones knew and whether he knew what Dumple was secretly recording multiple cheerleaders while they changed their clothes PFT reported. The union will reportedly rely on the league's 2020 implemented independent process for assessing potential personal conduct policy violations committed by players. In Watson's case, the NFL and its union jointly hired a disciplinary officer, retired federal judge Sue L. Robinson, who could decide to allow the union to fully explore the manner in which the league handles Snyder, Kraft, and Jones. Watson currently faces 24 active civil lawsuits filed against him by massage therapists alleging sexual misconduct. Last Tuesday, the New York Times published a report which claimed Watson used at least 66 female massage therapists between the fall of 2019 and the spring of 2021. The NFL is in the midst of its own investigation into the 22 lawsuits which became public in March 2021. An additional 2 lawsuits recently came to light after 2 of Watson's accusers spoke on HBO's Real Sports, which aired in May. The Browns traded for Watson in March and signed him to a record 5-year, $230 million contract, fully guaranteed after 2 separate grand juries, hear this out, after 2 separate grand juries declined to indict him on charges in relation to the ongoing sexual assault allegations. Watson has continued to deny any wrongdoing since the allegations were made public last March. He did the same on Tuesday while addressing the situation to reporters amid Cleveland's mandatory minicamp. Like I've said, I've never assaulted anyone, never harassed anyone, never disrespected anyone, never forced anyone to do anything, Watson said. When asked at the Times report that he used 66 massage therapists seemed like an accurate number, Watson responded, I don't think so. At the same time, there's more of a legal question I can get into the details about. He added, you'll probably have to ask my attorneys about that. So the 3 owners that we talked about in here, that was Daniel Snyder with the Washington Commanders, used to be the Washington Redskins. The Patriots owner, and we know the New England Patriots is now the most powerful team in NFL, Robert Kraft, and the Cowboys owner, Jerry Jones. Robert Kraft was caught at a little massage parlor, Asian parlor down in Florida. Didn't became it whatsoever. Daniel Snyder, the owner of the Commanders, we had all kind of allegations that women were being groped and this and that, and that they had to model and they had to do this and they had to dress up for rich men and it was all kind of stuff going on. And Jerry Jones, basically, one of his people was watching. They talk about allegedly was watching women dressing and undressing and stuff like that. Nothing came of any of this. Watson, you had 2 grand juries that declined to indict him. He has not played. He didn't play football at all last year. And plus, the NFL is talking about when he does come this year that they're going to suspend him for who knows how many games. So you have a lot of people that's pretty upset about this. You got a lot of people that think that Deshaun Watson should not ever play football again. So this is crazy situation here. This is just absolutely crazy. Does anybody want to speak on this?
This is the ultimate I'm white and I say so. I mean, let's be honest. The only reason why these guys are sitting here getting off like they are is the fact that they are owners and not employees. And furthermore, I really got nothing to say for anybody who wants to throw salt at Deshaun Watson, because nobody knows what in the hell has happened with any of them women. None of those women have any kind of proof. They don't have any physical evidence. They don't have any DNA. They don't have any AA. They don't have any AAA to say that he's done anything other than just the allegations. And if you've got not one, but 2 grand juries fail to indict anybody, hell, you talk to any lawyer, they'll tell you you can indict a ham sandwich for being delicious. So if they can't come up with enough to have a case go forward with criminal charges, any other case after that needs to be thrown the hell out.
My man KC, this is another one of my followers, always engaging me with the content and whatnot. And KC, I agree, man. I mean, you had 2 grand juries that said we're not going to indict this man. But now you got a lot of these female reporters with ESPN calling him a dirtbag, saying that he shouldn't be playing this and that. You know, it doesn't take long for these white feminist groups to start out. And now it's a damn black manhunt on him. So, plus the fact that a lot of people feel like none of this stuff came to light. Deshaun Watson wanted to be traded from the Houston Texans. And as soon as he said that he wanted to be traded from the Houston Texans, it's like the damn roof fell apart.
Yep, there it is. And you know what's also amazing is the fact that the initial prosecutor who brought those charges against him is actually next door neighbors with the owner of the Houston Texans. Nobody brought that up. Can anyone say conflict of interest?
Bingo, you're right, and I forgot all about that because that was definitely stated when that happened. So you're right. Thank you for adding that because I damn sure forgot that. Yeah, it's been something else, man. I mean, this has just been ridiculous. Kimberly, go ahead and I'm gonna get back to you, Casey, but Kimberly, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Newstoter. Hey, family. I just wanted to get in here real quick on my thought about maybe some things some brothers going forward should consider, especially if they got that large money like that. Is I think that they should just have like maybe some female bodyguards that can, throw those things and just kind of keep them protective when they, want to live their best life. Because I ain't hating on a brother for living his best life. However, my opinion around Asian shop, I know that they get down with that, that whoresome that they do when, they're supposed to be giving massages and, they actually turn and trick them and they're soliciting. I'm sure they filled the brother out and realized that, he had loan money and just start setting them up. And then who they gonna believe? They protected now. They got their protected bill going on, so it's easy for them to say all kinds of lie. There's no deception running their whole genes, But that's all I have to say. I just think that I think these women, and I love women. Trust me, I don't want to see no women get raped or anything like that or done anything wrong. But at the same time, I don't want to be seeing brothers, put donkey pins on them talking about they doing things that they just not doing. And they not always liars. And they not always after these funny, white women or Asian women or whoever they are. I don't believe it all the time. So I'll land my plane with that. But I just thought I'd put that out for us to, just chew on that a little bit.
Thank you, Miss Kimberly, and thank you also for being a great supporter too, and always supporting the content and whatnot. And I hope that you'll keep doing that. And like I say, man, you had 2 damn grand juries that didn't indict this dude. I mean, 2 of them, not 1 but 2 of them, and they still going at him, and they still trying to get that money. So we gonna see exactly how this go right here. Well, hell yeah, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hashtag reparations. Hashtag reparations now.
Yes, ma'am.
Better know it. I don't know too much about about sports or anything, but if there's something that us sisters can do to get ahead of this bullshit before these Karens come fucking with us, let me know. I mean, I'll hashtag or whatever the fuck we need to do, or start a space, or I don't know what the hell, but we need to get in front of this because that's where they're going. The other thing was for the young boys who were in the Ohio incident. Now, if I remember correctly, if you're a black person in a car asleep and your partner runs out with blood all over him and he gets life, you get life too. So if these little white assholes wants to run away, it doesn't make a difference because they're still complicit, right? But it is what, Thursday, so it is. I'm white when I say so. The other thing is with Monique. Yeah, we got ovaries. Y'all got balls, okay? We got ovaries. And, ain't nobody just gonna keep fucking with our ovaries. Like, nobody's gonna keep fucking with y'all balls. So, it's, tomato. So, I'm glad that she did that, stood her ground. And there was the one thing I wanted to say in the end is when she was coming for us, when she was asking us, letting us know, I should say, her situation with Lee Daniels and the rest of them. I found on YouTube where they actually went on stage and they forgave each other. It was really fucking awkward. It was kind of weird, but I kind of felt some type of way. I was like, damn, I was really invested in her getting what she needed to be getting to find out she was respected. And when she was, it wasn't as notable as her going through the process. So I felt kind of cheated, but I was like, damn, he did go on stage. They did hug. It was awkward as fuck. And hey, Newstoter, but that's about it. I love y'all. Bye.
Love you. Thank you, sister, for dropping in and just sharing a little bit of info with us. And like I say, man, this is crazy here. Like I say, Deshaun Watson, You got a lot of people in the media want them to go ahead and void that contract. They upset that the Cleveland Browns signed him to that big contract. They pissed off. And you're talking about 5 year, $230 million. And of course, the NFL, when they say it's fully guaranteed, it's not fully guaranteed, but they still can get most of that money. But like I said, he didn't even play last year because of this stuff. So if he doesn't play,
are your brothers going to boycott? I'm sorry.
Boycott the NFL?
Well,
most of us already are.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
I definitely don't watch
most
the
of us
NFL like
already
I used to myself. So
yeah, most of us already did after what they did to Kaepernick back in 2016, and the NFL's numbers are showing that they're creeping up, but they're not where they used to be.
No, their numbers took a big hit, definitely.
For sure on that one. And basically, I only watch football. Unfortunately, that's like the only thing I ever watch on TV. Majority of the year I'm in the studio, but I just really want to see not only what's the situation that's going to happen this year with Deshaun Watson and his case, because back what you said, Newstoter, the news media is saying X, Y, Z. It's really just white women saying this stuff. You see what I'm saying? So if everybody go watch the brother Jada Black, Jayede Black, or Jada Black on YouTube, he be breaking all this stuff down and how these white women be in their feelings over cases like this and saying, oh, he did this, that, and the third. But when it's somebody white, like a Ben Roethlisberger who played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who actually physically really raped, he really raped 2 women. You feel what I'm saying? And the NFL covered that shit up 100%. And specifically the Pittsburgh Steelers. But hey, look who was the coach at the time. Unfortunately, what's his name? Mike whatever, he a black coach. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, I feel bad for him that he had to go through that bullshit. Yeah, Mike Tomlinson, right. You know what I mean? I feel bad that he had to go through that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got nothing to do with me. You can get the fuck off the team for all I care. But I understand you a white quarterback that got a decent arm on you. You know what I mean? So, and you won 2 Super Bowls already. So it's like, all right, I ain't got no choice but to sit here and put up with this bullshit and cape for you and shit when I don't even want to.
Wait, fellas, didn't somebody get busted in Atlanta? Freaking some Asian people? Remember, it was an owner or something. I don't know. It was
that was in Florida. That was Robert Kraft. He was the one. He's the Patriots.
Yeah, that was Robert Kraft
the Patriots owner. That happened to him in Florida, and they just totally got rid of the whole case.
Right, but hold up a minute, just to reiterate what you said. Well, yeah, he also got him. I forgot. I think you said you broke it up before, Tyler. Daniel Snyder, which is the owner of the Redskins, aka the Washington Commanders now, and Robert Kraft, who's also the owner and heir to the Kraft Food Company, by the way, too. So that's another thing you gotta pretty much boycott Kraft Foods. You see what I'm saying? Any subsidiaries or other little businesses they may have. So this is the argument of every farmer be saying we gotta grow our own damn food, man. We can't even buy food from these jokers when they do shit like that. And I understand sometimes you might have to separate the artist from the business. You know what I'm saying? That's jokers gotta eat. You gotta do what you gotta do. But you ain't gotta buy Kraft food. You ain't gotta buy Kraft mayonnaise. You ain't gotta buy Kraft cheese. You can go to your local deli and get whatever cheese or pick another brand or whatever the case be. But also Robert Kraft, he had more than just those charges on him. He had some charges from some with some foreigners had brought against him too as well in another country, yo. And that shit got swept up under the rug.
Well, hell, you heard what they were talking about with the Commanders with Daniel Snyder and them, like they had two accounting systems or something like that. So basically,
Daniel Snyder was a billionaire well before he bought the Washington Redskins because he been in like finance and all this other stuff back or whatever, Wall Street. So he had money, hush money, well before he bought the team.
Yeah, but you see that they had two. They thought they was hiding money from the NFL. He had 2 accounting systems. So the man was basically they trying to say that they were almost laundering money almost.
Well, yeah, that's what these companies do. That's what a lot of American companies do. Because the real corporate taxes in America is like 40% of your net profit or your gross profit, whatever you want to call it. So these white jokers, they ain't trying to pay that. This is why the tax system is so complicated. And Biden talking about he's trying to hire all these extra IRS people just to search $600 or more transaction. That ain't nothing but us down here in check that be doing those type of little transactions on Cash App. You know what I mean? Real talk. Ain't no business that making millions, hundreds of millions, even hundreds of thousands of dollars a year gonna use a system like Cash App or any of this other stuff to fund money or send money to a bank. And Biden's so stupid, we don't even need the American banking system. to go send money to another country. As long as you got the plug, you're going to be Gucci.
And real quick, if I may, sister, just to answer your question, what can black women do to help out brothers like us when situations like this come up? White women, white feminist organizations, white people, period, they count on a lot of you being silent when these things come up. What we need for y'all to do is when situations like this come up, if it looks foul, it smells foul, and it tastes foul to you when you hear it, start speaking up a lot louder. Just as loud as y'all had them hoes sitting up there calling out Bill Cosby for not doing a goddamn thing. We need you guys to be with us to say that whatever in the hell is going on is bullshit, and that the Sean Watson stuff is complete bullshit because it makes no sense.
Right.
And I'll land my plane there. I'm sorry.
I don't think they want to pay that boy, and I don't mean boy in a derogatory term. I don't think they want to pay that brother that money. And now they got reneging. They helped that spade. They helped that diamond too low, and the shit came out. And now they threw out that spade when you should have threw out that diamond. It's came now.
Right, well, hold on a minute, sister. Hell yeah, the Texans had to release him because he was already in his last year of contract anyway. So they didn't have to release him because they could have picked up like a clause or a draft clause where you coming into the league, and if on your we signing you a five year deal, X amount of money. On the fourth year, we can exercise an option to keep you here as a franchise quarterback. You see what I'm saying? So they didn't actually have to let him go. That's why he was working uphill. Because when you like you said, you don't watch football. So
I'm gonna do it like this, kid. Explain to I'm a 4-year-old.
No, I am.
DJ, let me chime in here real quick.
Go ahead.
Yes.
His contract, he had a special contract too, because in football and sports, anytime a team can trade you at any time, but in his contract, he had a no trade clause, meaning that he pretty much can decide where he wanted to be traded to. If they say we're going to trade you to this team, he could tell them, no, I don't want to go there, and they couldn't do anything about it. So he was able to do that with the Texans as well. He had a no trade clause. He could go ahead and he could actually trade at any time. If you were going to trade him without his permission, he could stop it. So he was coming up as a free agent. He told them he wasn't going to play there with them anymore because he got tired of them trading off all the top players they had.
Top players, right.
JJ
Watt,
like, hey.
DeAndre Hopkins got traded. So all his weapons and all his top players they was really winning with, the Texans traded him. So now you got one of the best black quarterbacks in the league, but no weapons around him to throw the ball to. You know what I mean? Come on,
Hell, you got one of the best quarterbacks. Black or white, he's one of the best quarterbacks in football. He's a top 5 quarterback when he's playing. So
I gotta give him top 3, Tyler. I'm not sure if you remember the play where he took that boot to the face and fucking made the pass. Oh, that motherfucker's bad motherfucker. Yo, shut your mouth.
Oh, y'all high? Could y'all please stop getting me confused? Y'all talking about a kick-ass plays. Okay, so far he doesn't have to trade. He's at the end of his contract. He said, I'm not going to stay with y'all because I ain't got nobody around me. My offense, defense, or what the fuck y'all call it. Okay, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's pretty much
here's the way it works. The Texans could have done this one of 2 ways. Either A, they could have traded him in the 5th year of his contract, meaning that they could have asked for compensatory draft picks, or they could have decided to sign him to what's called a franchise tag. Franchise tag basically means that you are paid within the top 5% of players, the top 5 players at your position. For Deshaun, probably would have been about $29, almost $30 million a year. Or it may have even been more than that, considering what Patrick Mahomes signed for a couple of years ago. Either way it goes, the Texans didn't want to get rid of him. That's when this felonious crap came up that, he touched this and he did that and all this other stuff. They kept him on the sideline for that year, for the last year of his contract.
No, remember, he held out.
No, remember, that's when the case came up and they were like, we don't want him on the team, so he can be in the practice facility, but he can't play. That was
KC right about that. The case came up. He couldn't. It was the case that came up. It's not that he held out, but the case came up.
Yep.
No, right. But remember, he didn't. He wasn't part of the.
But hold on a second. He asked for the trade well before the lawsuit came, and that's the whole argument discussion tonight.
Right. He asked for the trade, and he asked for the trade in the offseason of 2020.
DJ, hold it down for 1 second, all right?
I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah, he asked for his trade in the offseason of 2020. 2 weeks later, that's when the allegations came up. Okay? So once the allegations came up, they went into the season. He was going into his contract. The team couldn't play him because of, quote-unquote, the allegations and the bad look that it would have for the team. So they just kept him on the sideline. That took out the entirety of his last year. So if they wanted to keep him, they could have franchise tagged him. But heck, $35 million, which is more than, a tenth of your salary cap to one player that doesn't want to play for you. So that's why the Browns were able to step in this year and give him that huge-ass contract. I'm saying more than likely the owner is the one who's keeping up all these different 60 women sitting up here saying this, that, and the frickin' third because he's still sore.
Facts.
You cannot replace a Deshaun Watson. You can't. I don't care what little mealy mouth, freaking noodle-armed white quarterback you put back there. You're not going to be able to replace him. And good luck in getting him in the draft.
Yeah, I say, sisters, let's ride these motherfuckers and put them away wet. Because that's our boy, and they gonna do him like that. So whatever y'all got for the information, just put it, DM me or whatever. But I'm down to start barking before these bitches start saying something about our brother. I'm down for that.
Hell yeah. If you on Facebook, hit me in the DM. I'll put you in my sports group. I'm looking for moderators and admins. Anybody got it? That's like in the sports. So this is the argument where we say, sister, hell yeah. Are y'all going to boycott? Yeah, we want to because we want the Negro leagues to come back. We don't want to support these WPIs, white public institutions. But we can't start watching it because, one, we like football. And when shit like this go down, who going to be there to say, nah, that's my man. He innocent. I saw the whole thing. She lying. Or he tell, yeah, he's lying. Yeah, she was telling the truth. Whatever which way how you want to call it. You know what I mean? So it's like we ain't got
reparations now. Let's sit there and start our own damn league.
Real talk. Bring back the Negro leagues because we was doing well fine without them. The whole reason why baseball and early basketball and early football life was trash because you ain't had no Negro. Once Jim Brown went up in there, you saw what he did. He won 8 championships with the Cleveland Browns. You know what I mean? They call him the dog pound for a reason. You feel what I'm saying? Them boys was getting busy back in the day. But guess who was jelly? The white man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Hey, we're gonna come back to this here too, but I want to touch on the last topic, and that's the rappers being killed. We have an epidemic going here, and I just wanted to touch on this real quick. Of course, once I read it, it's a quick article. We can go back and discuss this or discuss any other from Monique to Deshaun and LeBron. So I just want to go ahead. I just try to put the information out there and let y'all decipher it or whatever. So I just want y'all to hear that because we have a serious issue going on here, man, and it's been going on for a minute. I looked at Wikipedia, and I know Wikipedia is full of crap, but it's something like since 1987, we've had 60 rappers murdered. I'm going to say that again. Over the past 35 years, we've had 60 rappers murdered. From 1987 to 2022, 60 rappers have been shot, dead, and killed, murdered. Okay? So this is something that we need to seriously, and something that the hip-hop world and the rap world need to seriously sit down and try to sort out and try to straighten out here. I remember back in the day when I was a kid, you had KRS-One and you had Big Daddy Kane and you had the cats on the East Coast and they had the Stop Violence movement. Well, it might be about time for another Stop the Violence movement. That Stop the Violence movement was intended for the actual black community, but hip-hop itself needs a Stop the Violence movement. You got black men here that's being gunned down, killed in the streets. Black men who have a chance to create generational wealth for them and their family, and yet these guys are in their 20s and they're getting clipped left and right, most of them. So I just want to go ahead and talk about these. You had a couple rappers in the past couple weeks that got killed. You had the rapper Trouble DTE, and you also had the drill rapper, the LA drill rapper Money Gang Vontae. And I think also DJ did the FBG Cash get killed as well too. I think you had quite a few. You had about 2-3 rappers in the past couple weeks that have been killed. And I'm just going to read this quick story from Black Sports Online, and this is strictly just about Money Vontae. It says LA drill rapper Money Gang Vontae gunned down at Bronx pharmacy attempted robbery. Another rapper has fallen victim to the ever-growing list of gun violence, this time 27-year-old Avante Frowner, known professionally as LA drill rapper Money Gang Vontae, who was in New York City for a show. On Thursday, Frowner was repeatedly ambushed by 4 other men in broad daylight at a local Bronx pharmacy during an attempted robbery, according to NBC New York. Police got a call around 2 p.m. about shots being fired at Amazing Pharmacy on East Tremont Avenue. Who would be later identified as Frowner was taken to St. Barnabas Hospital, where he was pronounced dead due to multiple gunshot wounds to the chest. In the disturbing pharmacy security cam footage, the 4 men committing the crime can be seen struggling with Frowner after they snatched his chain and attempted to wrestle the wad of cash the rapper flaunted earlier that day. After taking him down to the floor, Frowner tried to escape his attackers behind the counter, where he was mercilessly shot point blank at least 4 times. A pharmacy employee who witnessed a tragic attack recalled Frowner entering the store 20 minutes prior to being accompanied by a friend. When he returned, he was by himself and 4 other men, seemingly engaged in an argument with the rapper outside. The men then followed Frowner inside the pharmacy when the fatal struggle occurred. They looked like they were fighting or arguing. I don't know, said the anonymous employee. I saw that one of them had a gun. She then warned the pharmacist while some other employees ran to hide in the basement. The worker said she heard the rapper plead for his life. He said, please, please, we can talk. We can talk, recounted the worker. The 4 suspects were seen simply leaving the scene on foot, and the 5th was captured outside of surveillance. NYPD has released video of suspects and asked the public for any information that leads to their arrest. They don't need to be on the streets no more ever, said Avante's dad, Roger Frowner, 56. If they kill somebody in broad daylight inside of a store, they are treacherous, he continued. They made a mistake. They did the dumbest thing they could ever do in their life, and I hope God will make them pay for it all. In Frowner's last Instagram post, he posed in front of a Bronx bodega. That was his father
What happened to forgive? Why is it that when it's a black life that's taken that everybody wants to sit up here and raise hellfire and brimstone, but whenever it's, the other way around, it's like, oh, we got to forgive, we got to go to the church, we got to sit up here and have a vigil. Man, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, that was his dad. His dad was pissed off. That was his dad saying that, his dad he ain't ready to forgive anybody. The dad is pissed off, man. And this is crazy, man. Since 1987, Scott LaRock, who used to be with KRS-One, was the first one, Boogie Down Productions. And you just think about all of the men. And then, and since the 2000s, man, it has just been, since the last 10 years, it has just been an epidemic, man. Every time, I swear, you don't go I doubt you go 2 months without some rapper getting clipped.
Yeah, just to speak on that real quick, before I got dropped down or whatever. So to make a long story short, one thing we got to understand, most of these black men that are getting killed, they only say they are rappers because that's what they happen to been doing. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the times, jokers that supposedly rap or rappers, you just doing it for fun. You don't be in the studio every day cutting records and trying to book shows and be out there like that. 9 times out of 10, these jokers that are getting killed, they are still in the street, selling dope, robbing people, gang banging, doing whatever. So the news media just paint them as, they're rappers because they might have had a YouTube video with they freestyling with their homies, or they might have been in a couple of videos. That's all this really is. And a lot of us, we got to stop looking at entertainment as a way to do something with our life. I looked at entertainment as something to do with my life since I was a kid. I've been writing songs, I've been dancing, I've been DJing since I was 12 years old. So this is my life. I was born into this stuff. You feel what I'm saying? I've been inside of certain clubs a kid would never be able to get into. You see what I'm saying? And walk freely like it ain't nothing. Because I'm known around here, man. They know my peoples or whatever. So that's the type of stuff we got to start thinking. The other thing is, back to the other rappers that were killed, like I think it was Mo3, I think King Von, a couple other jokers. They were signed to this, I got to look it up, but they were signed to this pretty much this Arab, San Negro looking record label. And if you pay attention to the numbers and the amount of people that have gotten killed on this label, that's pretty much like some of the top 3 or 4 rappers that really had a rap career and was really doing it. So like I said, King Von Mo 3 and matter of fact, oh man, this is my man named too. Damn, he just got killed. The brother that was in the cookie shop. Damn. Somebody help me out.
Which one? Shit,
that's somebody help me out real quick. Damn.
Young Dog.
You talking about
Yeah,
King
Young
Von?
Dog. No, Young Dog. He was signed to that particular label too. Young Dog. I couldn't think of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, shout to Young Dog. Rest in peace to him. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
Go ahead. When we doing business for somebody, if you under contract, it's all the insurance plot to me.
Right.
I blame Vlad. I blame him.
You blame who,
That's
sir?
a good one too.
You blame who?
Vlad.
Infiltrating people.
And they did that shit for free. I couldn't believe that shit. They
Well,
told everything.
Right. But see, here's the thing. Nobody put a gun to these entertainers' head and forced them to go on Vlad. So you really can't blame Vlad at the end of the day because nobody said you had to go on Vlad and say what it is you're going to say. And some of our people so stupid.
They going for the money.
Nah, hold on.
They went for the money, but Vlad could have had some type of morals and said, you know what, brother?
But that's what you're missing. That's the point you're missing, sister. Hell yeah.
No, I got you.
They ain't got no morals when it comes to this entertainment stuff. You know what I mean? People looking for clout. We clout chasing. We all think about certain numbers nowadays that are on streaming and social media as the way that a nigga made it in the game. You ain't making none because you ain't. The jokers in your hood don't even know you rap. You feel what I'm saying? The joker that live around your mama don't even know you bust rhymes or go to the studio. So how the hell you got all these millions of views, but you still living in the hood? See, this is why we need to have our own.
Quick question, then I'm gonna drop down. Why do rappers and those so-called rappers show how much money they have? Everybody that's semi-black, though, you don't put your shit on Front Street like that. Come on, and they're in the game and they don't know this.
It's the whole. They've been flossing like that since the '90s. I mean, showing the wads of cash and stuff like that. It's gone back, and it got worse. You know, it just got worse and worse as time went on. But they've been flossing, showing all. What the hell was that?
I'm talking, my bad.
Mr. Mike got that sneezy wheezies when I want that. Trying to go to the party this weekend, fam. Don't think.
But yeah, they've been flossing and whatnot, and it's been the bling bling, it's been the splurge era, it's been. I don't remember in the '90s they flossed, but they didn't floss like they did like in the early 2000s. Like these boys, and they get on and now with social media, you got people just showing wads of cash, man, and whatnot, and that's what people that a lot of people I know like, damn, they're like, do these rappers not know how easy it is to rob them? Like, you can't, like, you're a target, man. You can't, and then not only that, we got to also think too. If you're now a celebrity, you can't go and hang out in the same places that you was hanging out before, man. You can't sit up there and hang out on the corner, and you can't just hang out with any and everybody, man. You are a damn walking ATM. You're a walking bank. People look at you as somebody that's easy to lick, somebody that's easy to rob, somebody that they gonna get. You can't just sit up here and hang out like that. You got to go ahead, man. If you're gonna be doing this, you got to have you some security and bodyguards and stuff like that. You just can't be sitting out here splurging and just just being available for any and everybody. And not only that, stop being on Instagram and social media and Twitter and telling everybody where you going to. For one, that makes your house a target. Oh, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here. People go, okay, well, I know where Joker live at. I'm gonna go rob his house. Oh, he gonna be here at so and so and so so. I'm gonna go rob him here. Man, you gotta stop making yourself such a target as well, too, man. And then, like I say, so much like DJ say, a lot of these guys, even though they rap, a lot of guys are still out there in the street. A lot of guys are gang related, and it's crazy because the actual hardest era of rap was in the '90s when you had more gangster rap going. But now you got guys that have grown up on the gangster rap era, and they can't really differentiate. They can't really remove themselves from it. Like somebody like Ice Cube and some of the ones that came up in the '90s, Jay-Z and the rest of them were able to transform that stuff and create empires and stuff. And was able to move beyond that and whatnot. But a lot of these guys here, they're not even making it out their 20s, man. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Aunt La, I know you had your hand up, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kick it to you. Let you go ahead and chime in. But before we do that, anybody that's in here, make sure you're following us on Twitter. After the end of this, make sure you go ahead and follow us on Twitter. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We tell that every Twitter space. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please follow us on Twitter. Please also follow us on our Facebook group, Black Culture Newsroom. Also, if you can, contribute to the Cash App. If you got $1 to contribute, that's $Newstoter. Once again, Cash App is $Newstoter. Like, go ahead and unmute your mic.
I was just gonna say it is Black fault. I can't stand him. I hate him with a passion. I think people should stop going on his show. He don't like black people. He don't give a fuck about black people. He know what he doing, and I believe people use that term rapper very, very loosely. Because if that's the case, because I got bars, so I could just call myself a rapper. But I feel like that term.
Let us hear something real quick, guy.
I used to be scared of the. Now I put. That's all I know. But no.
Brick City, Jersey.
Lil' Kim, I was I used to be scared of it. But no, seriously, like, I just feel like that people use that term too loosely. Because it's at the point now, if you just get a tattoo on your face, you know what? You're a rapper. And if you thinking, doing certain things makes you, because our culture, because I take hip hop very, very seriously, because our culture was infiltrating a lot of things that they blame on the hip hop culture or blame on rap is not really the culture. That's not really what hip hop is. But because it was infiltrated by the enemy and what these people have done since the beginning of time, and with every land that they've been to, they kill, destroy, and they do everything. Everything they get their hand on, whether it's our music, whether it's our how everything they get, they destroy. They come inside of it. They don't even have to worry about destroying it from the outside of it. They get inside of it and then they destroy it. And for the love of God, I just wish we could take our music back because I feel like the term is used very, very loosely. And it's a lot of the deaths and a lot of things. That's not really what the hip hop culture is, and it's also the street culture put in it because of the inner cities and a lot of stuff where a lot of these things come from. A lot of gang culture, and I will blame that on Suge, is in the music to the point where if you go to certain areas, you literally got to claim a set. Now I want to go to California because I want to do a comedy show, but I'm so scared they're gonna ask me, well, which set you repping? And I'm like, shit, I'm a soldier for the Lord. I'm just have to make some shit up because I don't want to be a gang member. I just want to be a comedian. But because the gang culture has infiltrated the hip hop culture, because even my baby, I don't want to say his name because I don't know if it's true or not, but he was a good singer. He moved to California. He had to represent because and then they put that in the music, and a lot of the street culture has infiltrated the rap music, and now it's not music, and a lot of it was done to the detriment of our people. But a lot of it is just, I spit some bars and now I'm a rapper. And you not necessarily a rapper just because, a lot of this shit is karaoke. Like, let's be honest. A lot of it is karaoke. But it's given this, okay, we gotta say that it's a rapper. Because it's not just black rappers dying. It's I don't even know. I don't even know what I don't even it's something I'm trying to like understand because it was a lot. It was like a lot, and I'm just like, what the hell? Some of them I never heard of, but it's something where I don't know what's going on, but I believe it's because of the infiltration of the gang culture and the street culture. When you're living in gang culture, now I'm not in a gang, but I understand the code, and a lot of times with this code, they riding or dying for the code. So when they do become rappers, if they do decide to really take it serious and really, they still got that code. And they have this imaginary beef, and they have these sets of things where the person who looks like you is a problem, when really that's not your problem. There's a lot of self-hate in that. And again, I believe it was because it was infiltrated. But it's hard to put a finger on it. but it's really something that's just, it's sad. It hurts my heart because as a lover of, especially when how it started and how even though it wasn't all positive, when we not necessarily controlled it, but when we were able to do what we wanted to do in the music, it was more well rounded. You had some ratchet, you had some righteous, and you had an even amount. You had female rappers, you had I Need a Roughneck. UNITY, we had an even amount of everything. But when it was infiltrated, the powers that be who control it want to see the detriment of our people. And that's what they put out. That's who they fund. That's who they focus on. And to the point where it's telling us, well, this is the hottest rapper. And I'm like, no, that's not the hottest. We're like, who the hell is? No. And it's the brainwashing of them. Them telling us what's hot. As the culture, black people run the world, whether it's music, whether it's TV, whether it's comedy, whether it's whatever, we run all that shit. It goes by what we say is hot. But when we have people in our culture telling us what we should be doing and we should not be doing, that's a problem. Because then it comes like it's a moral thing. We know what our morals are. We know what some shit. Back in the day, you could read the newspaper and you know if it was a black person or a white person did some shit. Oh, this person ate up something. Oh, no, that ain't us. We would, you would know what it was. But because of the infiltration and certain people thinking, oh, it's hot because that's what they want to put out there, they thinking, oh, and a lot of times people blame things on the hip hop culture. No, those things that's in our culture is literally blackface. And we can't take accountability for that. But a lot of this gang culture is in the hip hop culture. And I think that's what a lot of it is. Because even when you had that rap, I don't consider him a rapper. I don't consider him a rapper at all. If you don't have black skin, you are not a rapper. You are a karaoke artist. And now, if you want to say that's what you do, that's fine. Mental illness is real, and you can, I can self-diagnose you as having a mental health issue. That don't mean you're a rapper. You're karaoke. You got to be black to be a rapper. But because these people think they can come into our culture and say what they're doing is rap, it messes it all up. But we don't gatekeep our culture. We don't gatekeep our music. We don't gatekeep our anything, and that's what allows it to be corrupted. I land my plane. My phone about to die.
Appreciate that, Aunt Live. Black MacGyver, I know you was trying to chime in earlier. You got something you want to say, brother?
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
All right, what's up, y'all? This is Ice Phantom, aka Renithe Arenza. I agree with everything the sister said, but y'all got to realize something. We are black people, and everything that we do, everybody's going to eventually copy us or try to be like us. The only way that we can be able to control the narrative is to put out there what we think is appropriate in mass, and everybody will follow us. I mean, I hear what she's saying. Sister's right. But if they're going to follow us anyway, whether it's gangster music or just straight up rap music like back in the day, they're going to follow us. We are the ones who have been directing the narrative, but we haven't been able to recoup the financial gains from it. Every time we turn around, we do something, and people want to take advantage of it. They try to craft our product and say it's theirs. But the reason why they can't is because we're the ones with the creativity. We're the ones that have the ability to make something out of nothing. I mean, we were all our ancestors was enslaved, and we got out of it. You got the Emancipation Proclamation, which specifically said that all men were created equal. But yet, years later, they lynched us from trees, burned down our homes in different cities around the United States. I mean, I can speak on other places around the world, but I'm trying to be more specific about us as black people in America. And we know the horror stories. And then rap music came around, and then we crafted it, put it out there in the market. Everybody bought the records. And then all of a sudden you saw this cloning that's going on around the world. Now you got Italians rapping like black people. Now you got French people rapping like black people. And it goes on. And the reason why it works is because the same outlet that we've been using in the United States, they're now seeing that this is the way to go. So what we need to do is to use that platform that we have to make it right and back each other up. That's what this whole thing is about. You got to back it up. Their cultural adaptation to us might be a little bit nerve-wracking to blacks, but we have to turn lemons into lemonade. So I guess what I'm saying to all of you guys listening right now is that if you really want to see a change, create a narrative and tell your friends about it, and we'll latch on to it like fleas, and boom, it'll explode into something that's new. Because right now they're exploiting us. I'm kind of mad about it, to be honest with you. They're exploiting us because they know if they want to control black people, they have to learn what it is that makes us tick. And once they figure out what they think that is, then they'll use it against us. Why do you think these contracts and these violation of these contracts are so important? Because it gives them the advantage to take advantage of us if we don't know what we're doing. Chuck D said it in one of his songs. I think it's called Kill 'Em Live. If you ever get a chance, listen to that song by Public Enemy, Chuck D. It's called Kill 'Em Live. And he's saying you got to protect it on that other end. That's the legal side of things. We have to focus on what makes us the leaders. The blacks in the United States are the leading authority culturally. We were the ones that did all the fighting. I'm not taking anything away from the Haitians. Haitians had their deals in the 1800s, part of the 1900s, and so on. This is not about them. This is about protecting our financial base. Whoopi Goldberg, for example, was the first Hollywood actress that I ever saw that had dreads. Then look what happened. Now you got white folks got dreads all over the place. You see the pattern? Anything that we do, they're going to recraft it like they were the ones who created it, started it, packaged it, sold it. It's us. We are the ones since the beginning of time that have been involved in the inventions of everything that we know. Behind the light bulb and Thomas Edison was a black man. Behind astronautic, aerospace engineering, astronomy, hidden figures, black women. See the pattern? None of these entities can succeed unless they have us behind the wheel. So if we're the ones who are driving, we get to decide where to go. So you guys can recreate a pattern that they will have to follow, that we can unite ourselves behind, and boom, we can control every single goddamn narrative in the world. And that's what I have to say. Back to you, to the narrative.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Arenza, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Is it Arenza?
Yeah, it's Arenza. My name came from Spain. I'm black, but the origin of my name came from the wine country in Spain near San Sebastian. I actually went up there, and I speak Spanish, even though I'm a brother. And they speak Castilian Spanish, so they don't say Arenza, they say Arentha, like TH, Arentha. But y'all can call me Renz, you can call me Icy, but whatever you do, don't forget about me, because I'm telling you, it's brothers like me, Jason Black, Tariq Nassid, we are Professor Black Truth. We're part of the B1 family, but you never really hear us talk in public. We're out there doing stuff, registering people to vote, putting initiatives all over the place, giving black people a chance to have a fighting chance to count in this community. And we're teaching in the same process. So if you guys are not listening to the Black Channel, Professor Black Truth, you need to start doing that right now. And this is the centerpiece. Yes,
we definitely listen to we definitely listen to the New Black Media, and Newstoter is also part of New Black Media. Newstoter is the largest black curation site of black news in America. So I'm also part of that new black media too. I may not have the followers and the voice that they have, but in terms of just putting out the content, I'm up there. So I definitely, like I said, I definitely listen to Tariq and Professor Black Truth and Jason Black. But like I say, I also too I also curate news for 25, 30 black owned newspapers and whatnot. And even though I don't agree with everything that they put out, you know what I'm saying? Newstoter, we put in that work too. So we're also part of that new black media as well.
All right. Let me give you guys a pattern too that's going to help out Newstoter. And this is what I've been doing to spread the word of this fantastic newspaper. I made Xerox copies of the words Newstoter. And I'm like, hey, if you're on Twitter, look this up, look this up, look this up. So you can go to Office Depot, or if you got a printer at home, just print it out, screenshot it, print it on your printer, make copies of it. I mean, if you have to go to Office Depot, it's going to cost you like 5 cents. It's something cheap. Or you can do it on your own printer at home. Go in front of a grocery store and just pass it out. You brother? Yeah, I'm black. Yeah, here, go to Newstoter. Oh, what's up? Hey, go to this right here. Do your part. You don't have to do a lot. But if you give some people something tangible to hold on to, they'll take that home, or they'll look at it when they get in the car and they'll be like, oh, Newstoter, I never even heard of this before. You got to spread the word, but you can't just tell people because people forget. So you got to get it on paper and give it to them. And I guarantee you, they'll never forget you. That's how you spread the word, fellas. My sisters, that's how you spread the word. It's not about what you say. It's what you can give them that's tangible that they can read and then follow instructions and boom, there it is. That's how you're going to change lemons to lemonade. That's how you're going to build a mountain out of a molehill. And I guarantee you, a year from today, if y'all do what I'm telling you.
What happened?
No, that was my bad. I hit the button. My bad.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Arenza.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, that's no problem. Let me try to help you understand where I'm coming from. This is how we're going to do it. In anything that we do, whether it's Newstoter, the black media, whatever, we need to get paperwork in the hands of our people. So what you do is you take a picture of Newstoter's Twitter page, the front page of the Twitter site. Copy that image, print that out, 500 sheets. Just 500. You don't have to do 1,000, just 500 sheets. If you don't have enough paper at home, that's fine. Take it to Office Depot, Staples, print them out at chump change per page. Then go in front of a grocery store like the Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and say, hey, you know about Newstoter? No, what's that? This is the black media centralized web source news information. You got it all right here, my brother, my sister. Pass it out. If everybody can do that, that's listening to this call, by this time next year, we'll be bigger than CNN. We'll be bigger than Fox News. We'll be bigger than MSNBC. And you know they're going to follow us anyway because they've been following us. I'm trying to show you guys that it doesn't take a multi-million-dollar effort. Because when you look at the bottom line, it ain't about the money. It's never been about the money. It's what's behind the money. And the creativity of it all comes from black people. It didn't come from Hispanics. It didn't come from Europeans. It came from us. And notice that out of all the different cultures and races on this planet, they have punished us more than anything in the world. And we're the ones that never did anything to them. But we've been paying for it since the beginning of knowledge and understanding of how cultures work against each other. Sold us on ships and sent us over here away from our fucking homeland. You know I'm pissed off, my brothers and sisters. I'm really mad about it. I'm calm talking to you about it. But the anger of seeing my great dad chained up against his will, I mean, it's nerve-wracking. So how do you fight it? How do you respect your past? How do you acknowledge the contributions of your forefathers? I'm not talking about the forefathers of the United States. I'm talking about the forefathers that gave your grandma, great-grandma, great-great-grandma, and so on life after coming across the continental divide. How do you honor them? You honor them by respecting one another and lifting up the people that are beside you, that are the same color skin, that have something to contribute. You lift them up. How do you lift them up? You get the word out to other people and you say, hey, my brother, sister, do you know about this right here? This is Newstoter. Listen to this. Go to this website, newstoter.com. Yeah, they're on Twitter too. Here you go, my brother. Here you go, sister. You give them paperwork, something to hold on to. Once you do that, and they tell their friends, your 500 sheets of paper that you printed out to tell people about Newstoter, they turn into 1,000. 1,000 turns into 2,000. 2,000 turns into 4,000. And that happens every damn day. When the Black Channel first started, when I learned about it, I printed out information and said, hey, y'all brothers and sisters need to listen to Jason Black. But like, why? Why do we need to listen to him, brother? Because he's telling it like it is. And we out there doing something about it. We ain't talking about it. We doing something. All right, brother, how do I get there? Okay, here's a sheet of paper. I printed this out. Go on YouTube and look up the Black Authority. Can't find it that way? Look up the Black Channel. It'll come up that way. You'll know that you got the right page when you see red and white letters in the title. So as soon as they saw that, they subscribed to it. So all those people who are listening to Jason Black, a portion of them found out from people like me who spreaded the word. See how it works? We have been winning this fight because of word of mouth. The Underground Railroad, word of mouth. In Jet Magazine, Black Enterprise, word of mouth. My mom wrote for 142 different newspaper syndicates while I was a kid in Tuskegee, Alabama. And I don't have to tell y'all about Tuskegee. That's my hometown. So I can tell you from experience what these patterns are and why we need to listen to our mindset and then work for trying to make things better for everybody so that we can all succeed. Because when you work as a group, you won't fail. And I'm telling you guys, you're on the right track. We just need to do more of it. So guess what I'm going to do starting tomorrow? I'm going to print out the Twitter page of Newstoter, and I'm going to pass it around to brothers and sisters all around the country. And 1,000 people will turn into 2,000, which turns into 4,000, which turns into 8,000, which turns into 16,000 in less than a month. That's how you win a fight. See, I build machines. I make machines out of things. You guys going to hear about me one day. Alexa calls me the Michael Jordan of signature gatherers. Back to you, Net Control.
Appreciate that, brother. Thank you. And that would be greatly appreciated. You can go ahead and do that. That would most definitely be greatly appreciated. Like I say, I'm on Twitter all the time, Newstoter. So we putting out massive content. I put out 20 some odd articles a day from the website. So please go ahead, let your family know, let your friends know, and that would be definitely greatly appreciated. Volvo, I see you got your hand up, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you we're gonna be closing this out soon. We're gonna go Volvo. I know then we had Aunt Lie, and then we had Well Hell Yeah. So we'll let you three finish it out for the night. Go ahead, Volvo.
Hey, just real quick before you go, Volvo. Hey, the Jumbotron, bro. I posted up something there that says the firm. So pretty much I'm promoting that right there. If you could print that up on your side, hand it out to the folks, because we're trying to get the lower level of black media like Newstoter to come up at like Jason Black and Tariq Nasheed. So other thing is too for everybody too, where it says the firm at again, there's some good hip hop music about reparations in that thread or whatever you want to call it. So definitely check that out. All right. Go ahead, Bob. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I just want to. I don't know how the conversation. I can't kind of late. I guess I just wanted to talk about just talking about we need to gatekeep our culture and these people mimicking us because they don't really got no good culture. They ain't really got nothing to really stand on or nothing cool or nothing that's great. They ain't really got no champions. You know what I mean? Like they ain't really did nothing great. Some of these people been sitting in these countries for thousands of years. Literally, sitting there for thousands of years doing nothing. Some of these people can't even figure out how to turn on the lights. They can't even figure out how to build roads. They ain't really got no champions. So they've been looking at all the great stuff we've been doing, and they aspire to be like that. They really when they mimic our culture like that, that's them. They envy us. You know what I'm saying? They what I want to say. They really they admire us, and their admiration start turning into to jealousy and hatred. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't figure out how these people can do this. You know what I'm saying? These are slaves. We the slaves. They've been sitting over there for thousands of years, and they can't do nothing. There's something wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was looking the other day at I was scrolling on Instagram. I seen it's a rapper called French Montana. I don't know if y'all familiar with him, but he's an Arab. He got braids in his hair. Braids. You don't even see Arab women wearing braids. That's always been our thing. Now they starting to wear braids and gold teeth, and they getting lip injections and all that. They want to mimic us. And I want to talk about gatekeeping our culture. We need to start on the small level, the smallest level. I don't know where y'all live, but I live in Black America. We don't own all the businesses in our community. Nobody else would let another group of people come and take the resources out of their community. That ain't even, we bullshitting with that. I know we've been sabotaged, but it's at this point, it's time that we got to do something. We can't accept the rapper talking about his chain cost $40,000 and all that. Your chain costs $40,000, and you can't put a $20,000 corner store on the corner of the street. There's something wrong there. There's something wrong with our culture. We got to accept that too. Like, you got $100,000 car, and you can't put up a little gas station for $200,000. That don't make no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? We should look at what all the shit that we going through is because we ain't got no unity. If you look at Tyler Perry, showed us the way. Tyler Perry built his own studio. He ain't got to go to Los Angeles for nothing. He can get everything done right there in Atlanta. He can get everything done right there. He got a replica White House to the point to where now his studio's so good and so big, they coming to see him now because he built it. So now he the man, he the boss. That's what we need to start doing. There shouldn't be no reason why we not benefiting off our culture in 2022. There shouldn't be no reason why we need to gatekeep it, but first we got to build it. And I'm gonna land.
That's right. Way to go, brother.
That was it. I was done. We gotta build it. We gotta build it. That's how we gatekeep.
If I could ask a question really quick, fam, Bovo, what was the Haitian that said some real messed up stuff today about having sex with 17-year-olds or something?
No, he is Jamaican.
Yeah, okay. What was that about? What the fuck?
I mean, like me, I'm not really, I try to stay away from celebrity gossip.
No, but when you were saying how we need to do our own stuff and gatekeep, if he's going to be, acting as, I'm putting my hands in quotations, if he's acting like a rapper, I mean, if it's Haitian or whatever, Jamaican or whatever, we need to have that race call him out because it's affecting our brothers and sisters. Our young women.
We gotta make it known that he not us, and he is a knockoff.
That's what I meant to say. That's
right. Hold on a second, Bobo. Well, to reiterate what Hell Yeah is saying, and I understand you don't get into the whole celebrity thing. So the argument is, what she's trying to say is, in context terminology, like you said, they not us. So we got to gatekeep our own, but we don't do that because we're too busy being empathetic people. You feel what I'm saying? That's the problem up here with these us Negroes up here in the Northeast. We've been surrounded with these other immigrants for so long, we just used to being around them. That's why a lot of these jokers like Ayanna Presley up further up in the north in Boston, Massachusetts, will get her black ass down to the border and cater for these immigrants, but she never went to Buffalo. You see what I'm saying? She ain't got information on Buffalo on her timeline. You know what I mean? So that's what we talking about. So back to the academics, hell yeah. This joker is Jamaican. Just like this Tether Buster Rhymes, or Tether Rhymes, you know what I'm saying? Saying that Jamaicans have been in hip-hop. I still ain't heard in my 30 years of doing music Jamaicans say, yo, y'all mind, then I'm on. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't heard no Jamaican spit no rap. In a Jamaican dialect. You spit in AAVE dialect, African American Vernacular English. That means AKA slang. That's our language. So you talking in our language, Busta Rhymes, but you going on national television saying Americans ain't got no culture. Well, hold up a minute, nigga. Who you specifically talking to in America? You know what I'm saying? Because everything that's music-wise, we created that shit. You see what I'm saying? Every bit. The country, the rock, the hip-hop, the jazz, the bop, the dop, the dop, the doo-doo, the ooh-the-ah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
we made all that stuff up, but we don't own none of it, like you said. So,
but now that's the thing. We got to make that as that's for the immigrants, and we got to be like that type of, we got to be that stern with it, like, because we can't never stop them from making music. We can't break in their house and take their computer or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But we got to let it be known that that's something different. That's something else. That ain't what we is.
Right. So okay. With that being said, with that being said, right there, what you said. So here's what I need everybody to do. You either get on YouTube or you could search it right here on Twitter. Search for the Temple of Hip Hop. The Temple of Hip Hop. So KRS has actually been able to make a Temple of Hip Hop. Also look up the Hip Hop Museum. So if these is our Mecca, this is our music, this is our language, this is our culture. Why they don't have 1 million subscribers? You see what I'm saying? 1 billion subscribers. Why ain't the whole world following that hip hop religion? You see what I'm saying? And it's mainly our people that don't even follow our own stuff because it just seems like we just don't care, bro. You know what I mean? We're too busy cloud chasing and not looking at the business side of everything because we don't want to do the business. We'd rather just let somebody else gatekeep 90% of our wealth, long as we could get 10% and go live in a big house with a big car and go stun on other niggas. That's all the Jefferson was, bro. That's all the Jefferson was.
Let's
on another nigga.
Let's let Aunt Lie, because Aunt Lie was waiting on speaking, so let's let her go ahead and get it in, because like I said, we're going to be closing the space out a little bit, so let's let Aunt Lie, she had her hand up, so let's see if she still wants to speak or not. Aunt Lie, you still there?
Yes, I just want to say, okay, I'm speaking from my trauma now. When people say that Black people don't want to do things, just be very, very careful, because it's not that Black people don't want to do things, it's that Black people may not know how or may not have the resources, because you just need like the websites that's already out there doing it, but how do you advertise? Because I know when I was in my situation and I needed help and I needed, like attention brought to it, I'm fighting. It was nothing. So I'm sitting here thinking like, yeah, I don't want y'all to beat me up. But not saying I knew what the foundation of Black America was, but I didn't know about the beast, about the B1, and like how it's this whole Twitterverse that I think I've been with y'all for like 3 weeks. We've been going together for like 3 weeks now. And I've been dealing with my situations for 10 years. So it's not that Black people don't want to do certain things. It's literally, and I blame everything on white supremacy, and I'm going to continue to blame everything on white supremacy. I think every situation is blamed on white supremacy, and it's purposely done for us to be divided. It's not that, it's purposely done that we are divided, because you're in the same state as me and, born and raised the same area, and we just hooked up after like being distant for so long. So I really do feel like we have to be the change that we want to see, because the first thing I did when I got fired, I started 2 businesses, and I'm intentional about hiring Black people, employing Black people. When I did my comedy shows, my host was a Black person, my DJ was a Black person, my bartender, my security, it was Black on Black on Black. I make it my business to do everything I do with Black people. I go on Fiverr, I hire this person, I write it, I need this person to do my website. I'm hiring somebody that's Black. I'll ask the person, what type of Black are you? Because I want a specific type of Black. I am intentional about that. Okay, I'm a comedian. I got to do shows. I got a show on the 16th. The girl who do my hair is black. Everywhere I go to, I'm giving my money. And I don't have any money because I don't have a job. But I'm making sure whatever I can do. Like my girlfriend, she in Newark. She sells, like, she coupon. You know, she got 5 kids, so she coupon the hell to the point where she got her own store. So she sells soap, deodorant, and all that other stuff. So instead of me going to get my money to ShopRite, I'll go give it to her just because she's a black business. And I go out of my way. Like, I'll share her shit. She deliver. If you're in the North Irvington area, she deliver to you. She be having Father's Day gifts back and Mother Day. Like, I'm just purposeful with that. And people say, like, you know, I'm racist. And I'm like, you can call it what you want to call it, but I just want to be the change I want to see. So when I'm with my business, like I'm about to be on tour with my book deal, my publisher is black. Like I go out of my way to make sure I deal with black people. I got my first speaking engagement. I'm wearing a black outfit. I need a black designer. Everything I'm wearing, I intentionally do it. And that's how we have to be. And it has to be so intentional. It's to the point where we just have to make sure that we are intentional about what we want to see and getting it out there because, like, with my website, now I'm going to put like Newstoter on my website and put the link there. If we have to be more intentional about what it is because we do want to do it. We do want to try to do it, but white supremacy is so good at the brainwashing that I thought for a long time I was by myself. I thought I had this fight and I was taking on this fight literally by myself. I didn't know that I had people out there supporting me. Like today, I just got an email from somebody who was in the rooms and she saw the video interview I did about what happened to me. And she called me and she was just like, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of you." You know, she thanked me for, you know, putting myself out there and put my life on. And I just didn't do nothing but cry because I understand the big picture about it, but I do have the support. I'm not by myself. I am important. My people do have my back, but the question is, how do I get them to know about what's going on? And that is the thing. We do support each other. We do have each other back when it's known, but we don't have, because it's intentional, the fact that we don't have a black television station. It's intentional that BET is owned by them and they put the same shit on and not have us put us. Back in the day, we used to have radio stations. So, you know, when shit was going down, families would go get their radio station, black owned, you would get the information. It's intentional that we don't have those radio stations anymore. It's intentional that we don't have this TV. So when all this was going on in 2020 about these stuff, the only way we got our information was social media. And it's intentional why social media is saying, "Oh, you talking about black power shit? Okay, we gonna shadow ban. We're gonna say you're doing this." All these things are intentionally done to keep us ignorant and to keep us divided and to keep us. So we have to be intentional. That's why every time I turn around, don't tell my husband, but every time I turn around, I'll give Newstoter $20 or whatever, because I'm intentional about understanding the importance of black media, because I get it. I'm begging for somebody to go on my news story since 2019. He had told her, like, all right, cool, boom. Every time I turn around, I'm like, damn, that's it. And like I'm literally crying. Like, you don't understand the shit that I had to go through in dealing when I felt like I was by myself. So it's not that, it's a lot of things were intentional to keep us by ourselves. And it was intentionally done that way. So we just have to be very, very mindful and change the wording. And we have to change the wording about how we say this is ours. And like I like to say, like, I don't like to say these people are rappers. No, that's not my culture. That's some fuck shit. And that's what it is. It's intimidation. It's not even intimidation is the form of flattery. It's literally like, I'm trying to think of the name of it. I got to think of it from my comment. But it's just fake shit. It's not us. It's not who we are. It's not ours. It's them trying to get in our shit and then telling us what it's supposed to be. Malcolm X said it. They'll get a black person to do it just to say that it was a black person who did it. Just like they did what they do that shit. So we can't sit there and say that it's ours because we know what it is. It's the new blackface. We have to start calling these things out. But we have to be very intentional with understanding that this shit was done by design. It's a reason why all that civil unrest was going on, and it was still like this going on here, this, and it was not on the local, it was not on TV to the point where you wouldn't know about it unless you tweet. Now you don't even see Black Lives trending. You don't even see anything about Breonna Taylor. You don't even see things about that. You have to go intentionally looking for it because they purposely blocked us from seeing it. So it's not that we don't care. It's not that we don't support. It's not that. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. But it's not that we don't do these things on purpose. It's that it's purposely being done for it to block us from it. And that is the big difference. And we need to be more intentional about the things that we do. I'll let my plane.
All right.
DJ,
Can I
go ahead and let you?
Before you go to give it to DJ, can I add something to what the sister said?
Just one thing real quick, Arenza, because we're getting ready to close it out. So if it has to be about a minute long, because then we're getting ready. I'm going to let DJ get it, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close it out for the night. Go ahead, so.
All right. Here it is right here. Aunt Lai, you ain't alone no more. This is the first time we actually heard you speak tonight. This is how the beginning starts. And what you said is 100% correct. This is why we're connected to the soil. If you ever heard Jason Black, he always talks about being connected to the soil. The Jamaicans aren't connected to the soil, but the white supremacists will have us believe that the narrative is the other way around. This is how you fight. This is how you win. And that's all I got to say. Back to you, Net Control.
No problem. DJ, go ahead and get your last thing in, because then I'm going to have the last word and close it out.
Yeah, for sure. So, like I always say, everybody's saying the same thing. You know what I mean? We ain't in no disagreeing. We just need a solution for everything we're saying. Like Arizena, if I said that correctly, sorry. Like he said, just go print up some damn flyers. That's what I'm in here doing right now. Just, you go down to, hopefully, I know it's supposed to be like 90 degrees tomorrow, but I'm still going downtown. Try to be down there at 10, 11 o'clock before this reparations march in North. So I'm printing up some flyers. Try to go run interference because this Pan-African stuff up here got to stop. You know what I mean? They grifting our Juneteenth holidays. They grift every other, it's Black Music Month. I hardly even hear any damn Black music. I'm hearing everybody else's culture music. And you know what I mean? Other thing is, too, check the Jumbotron just real quick and scroll over, like, maybe to the middle, to where it says, right here, it says, Kite Productions, Kimberly Arnold, Dirty Jerry's, Newstoter, R. Smith. Check that link right there. That's about the situation that happened out in Akron, Ohio, near LeBron's I Promise School. Just to come back to my last kite, check that. That's about reparations, like I said, what's going on in there. And as far as, the Deshaun Watson thing go, the brother being framed and accused, I truly believe that. What was the other thing? Okay, yeah, in the rap music or whatever the case be. So again, just everybody go to the Temple of Hip Hop. Check KRS weekly videos out on YouTube. That brother, a lot of the stuff questions we had in there, why hip hop is the way it is, why these rappers is getting killed. He explained all that in very detail. And guess what? They had the same conversation 20 years ago, 20 years before that. You feel what I'm saying? And now we here 20 years in the future, or 40 years in the future, because hip hop is over 40 years old now. We still talking about the same thing. Why isn't hip-hop funding the Black community when we created a culture that is creating billions of dollars economically for so many other cultures? You see what I'm saying? So like you said, I forgot who said it, we don't own it. I think Bobo said that. So when you go to Japan, you go all these other places, China, they call themselves Blackanese, man, and they really hip-hop straight up. They more hip-hop than some of us. I don't break dance no more or really spin records too much. They live this shit over there, you know what I mean? So it's like, damn. What can I say to that motherfucker about, you ain't hip-hop because you ain't Black? But this is why we got to gatekeep our shit, and I guess I'll yield there. Love y'all.
Yes. Tonight was a different space that we had. This was the first space, and I wanted to show the versatility of Newstoter as well, because everything we pretty much do is news-related or political-related. So I wanted to let you guys also know that there is also an entertainment side of Newstoter. Like I said, we're not just the largest Black-owned, Black platform news curation site in America for anything. To every article, everything that we read tonight, with the exception of the one post, I believe, about was it LeBron's school or about Deshaun Watson, and even Deshaun Watson, we got a ton of articles on the website about that. Everything came off the Newstoter platform, curated from one of the Black sources. So tonight was different. Like I say, tonight it wasn't so much the news rundown or the political rundown, which we do all the time. Even though the discussions we had tonight was centered on entertainment, it still had a race component to it. We still had Monique and her discrimination thing with Netflix. We still had Deshaun Watson and possibly we see how unfair the NFL's been when you compare him to the NFL white $1 billion owners. We also had a LeBron issue with his school and the white kid coming out there with a gun out there acting like he's shooting at people and this and that. And we also had a serious thing, a discussion about the rappers and the epidemic that we've had since 1987. From 1987 to 2022, we've had over 60 rappers killed. I would say a couple of those, I'm not sure. They could have been somebody from overseas. I saw they had somebody from India or something like that on there. But still, 50 some odd rappers killed in a 30 some year period is just way too much. So we wanted to go ahead and and this is something I may end up doing something too, like maybe once a week. I may put an entertainment type spin on things as well, just to kind of give us a little bit of a break from the monotonous talk all the time about politics and news. But that's going to always be Newstoter's number one thing we're going to talk about. We're going to curate the news. We're going to bring discussions as relevant to Black America and stuff like that. So today was a little bit different. This was a smaller room than we have sometimes, but it was still a room that had great conversation, great discussion. I was glad for everybody that came in and chimed in. I appreciate you, Miss Janet, for your contribution on the Cash App. And I appreciate everybody who came in as a speaker, anybody who came in and tweeted out the space, anybody who came in and just wanted to listen and hear the conversation. If you guys think that we should also maybe sometimes have an entertainment discussion like we had tonight, go ahead and give me a heart sign or give me a thumbs up or whatever. And that's something that we're also looking to do more often as well. Like I said, I know you guys love the news and the discussions and everything like that. So I don't have a problem showing any versatility or whatever. Like I said, it's not always about the size of the room, but the actual discussion and the actual, the conversation that we're having together. So I definitely appreciate that, and I appreciate everybody that came out. If you guys have not, make sure that you follow the host and the co-host here on Twitter. So go ahead and follow the host and the co-host. We also have our YouTube channel. It's also in the Jumbotron, so I don't know if that's like the third or fourth or fifth or whatever, but it's in there. Our newsletter is in there. Go ahead and subscribe to the Newstoter newsletter. Make sure everybody that's in this space visits Newstoter once a day. Got all kind of content and information there for you guys that you will definitely find something relevant, something that you like, something that's important. Also, when we're on Twitter, go ahead and retweet any of our tweets, like them, give us some comments or whatever. Make sure that you guys try to join the Twitter spaces as much as possible. I know there's so many different Twitter spaces, but if you can, come in and try to at least join the Twitter space once or twice a week if you can, because we're normally doing it from Monday through Thursday. And we'll sometimes also do a Twitter space on Sunday as well. Like I said, I was just glad to, for those who are new to the Twitter space, I was glad to meet you, Rich. I was glad to have you in the Twitter space and share your observation and stuff about the new Black media and how we can be effective together and whatnot. I appreciate everybody that came. I definitely, like I said, appreciate everybody who donated on Cash App. If you guys have $1 and you want to donate it to Newstoter on Cash App, please, it's $Newstoter. We understand that things are economically hard. That's why I don't ask anybody for a ton of money. But I say if you have $1 and it's $1 that you can contribute, please, it'll be most appreciated for this web space, for everything, the web hosting, email hosting, curating news, and everything else that comes with it. So we definitely appreciate it. We appreciate everybody who came through. We hope that you guys will also go ahead and retweet this space out just so we can have more people come and listen to the recording as well. And once again, I thank you guys for coming into this Twitter space. And we will see you guys either.
Hey, Tyler, real quick. I'm trying to get Brother Moku to come up to talk about his T-shirts real quick. Just for 1 second. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you kind of killed the end of it, though, bro. I was kind of like tuning off.
My bad.
Yeah, like next time, go ahead. That's why I give you I let you go ahead and say it towards the end so I can go ahead and end it out. But yeah, next time, just go ahead and have the brother come up beforehand, because when I give it to you, that means I'm closing it out last, and that's it. So is the brother still in here?
Yeah, brother, I think he's having problems with his connection. I'll try to bring him up. I'll try again, but I don't know if you want to come up. You want to come up, Moku, real quick? Talk about the T-shirts just real quick. What's out of letting you? I don't know, hit the emoji.
Yeah, just make sure, man. Like before, like, cause when I get it at the end, I'm closing it out. So I don't mind. You know, I definitely don't mind the brother coming up or whatever. But when I go ahead and do my little speech at the end, that means it's like it's good night, Irene. Like we closed it out.
Yeah, you the cousin that's got the plate already with the aluminum foil walking through the car. You like, come on, shit, it's over. Come on now, let's go on.
That's it. The barbecue over with. Like,
hey, next time, Moku is over, homie. Be more gang.
Yeah, when they come in, like I say, because I wish if I would have knew that beforehand, I definitely would have let the brother went ahead and got up in there. Is he able to connect? Because I'm giving I gave him the invite to speak. So I don't know if he But for anybody, like I said, that's in the space that can contribute on the Cash App, that's $Newstoter. That is $Newstoter, and it is greatly appreciated. I'm not sure we can get Brother Moku up here because it seems like well, I'll go ahead and I'll DM the brother too and let him know like the next space we'll just go ahead and have his, because I know we put his link in the jumbotron, but we'll definitely go ahead and have the brother come up and speak and talk about his because and that's also we still working on getting that black business space started, y'all. And I meant to say that earlier tonight. That just slipped my mind, but we're definitely going to have us a black business space where everybody can speak about their business, what service they offer, and this and that. And you know what I'm saying? We're going to definitely try to do that. We definitely got to have a black-owned business space. So that's something that we're still working on now. We're adding the list. I haven't been adding the names to the list recently, but I'm going to go back to my DMs and I'm going to go ahead and add it. So we definitely need to have a black business space, and we're going to have that black-owned business space. So anybody that offers any kind of service, whether it's brick and mortar, whether it's online, no matter what it is, we're definitely going to have you in there. But it seems like the brother is having a problem getting ready, being able to be a speaker. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to close this out. And like I say, please go ahead and follow the host and the co-host. Also follow Newstoter on Facebook. If you got a Facebook account, @Newstoter, Instagram. I'm also on there. Newstoter is also on Instagram. Go ahead and make sure you follow the Facebook group that's also in the Jumbotron. Anybody that is not subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and in the Jumbotron, you can find a YouTube channel. I'll tweet it out tomorrow as well. So please, when I tweet out the YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe to it. Please, we need as many eyeballs on the content as possible. Also, like I say, support us on Cash App. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and we're going to end this Twitter space, and we will either see you guys Sunday or possibly Monday. So everybody have a good night and take care, and thank you again for coming out and supporting the space. And black content, black-owned business, the new black media, we appreciate you guys so much. So thank you again.